Oh shoot, I was on mute. Yeah, I'm get a couple commercials rolling while Unc load his stuff up. But man, it's gonna be a good one, man. I can't wait to hear what he's gonna say. I'm actually I kept a lot of the conversation between us kind of like spontaneous, right? I haven't really heard his argument. I've just heard his position, right? And it's tough for me to even really explain his position now that I kind of think about it. But he's saying that you cannot separate Africa from activism, right? And in 2025, I don't really see how you can really hold that line. But that I mean, that's what he said. He said that's where he at, you know. So I'm kind of like anxious to hear what he's gonna say to try to keep all that together. Come on, where are my commercials at? Hmm, this thing is tripping. Okay, I'm having some technical difficulties right quick.
Yeah, DQ. Check. Have you ever had a dream in the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. If you made it come true, cause you stay down. Nigga, have you ever really thought about the limelight? In a room full of stars when you shine bright. I'ma make the right move when the time right. Alright. Nigga, have you ever had a dream during the daytime? Had the same dream since the playground. If you made it come true, cause you stay down. Nigga, have you ever really thought about the limelight? In the room full of stars when you shine bright. I'ma make the right move when the time right. Calculated every step, so I can't stand a hater out here hating on. Niggas out here making moves. See, I hand out the type of shit they waiting on.
Yeah, so me and Unc, this how this started, right? Me and Unc will get together and have conversations about kind of like just about topics that's kind of going on, and of course, a lot of that stuff is pretty Egypt heavy, um, which is cool. I understand that that's like a big part of the conscious community and what goes on, but we also, we're kind of slanting into a little bit more of the political side, and the political side, not necessarily so much as for us to like become politicians necessarily, but I think when you look at the difference, at least the impact that people who are a little bit more politically centered in their process of fighting for the rights of African Americans in America, I think there's a huge gap between what those people were able to accomplish and what people who were a little bit more Afrocentric were able to accomplish, right? I think that that's where the cusp of the argument is, right? And if it weren't for these, I guess you would call them kind of like golden calves a little bit, right? Almost like untouchable figures that we have in these elders. It's kind of hard to see the value in that, right? It's like we valuing nostalgia or we valuing results at that point, right? You can be critical all you want as the route that they take, or maybe some of the things they had to go through to get it done in legislation, but they got stuff done, right? You can't, the hill that they were able to climb with the civil rights bill is like monumental, like that's like that's a big part of American history right there. The fact that we were able to come out of that and get the right to vote, have the right to participate in the national elections, in our local elections, it set us up for the potential to be a lot more self-serving in whatever our arguments were, right? You could go from just having complaints and being able to voice them in private to actually being able to put people in office who held your same view, right? You could participate in it that way. And I don't see, I kind of don't see where being African centered helps you do that. I don't even see how being African centered leads to that, right? I think it takes you in the other direction, right? What's up, Joel? Joel, so man, I know I'm not no FBA. Leave me out of that. Okay, you must be talking to somebody in the chat. But what's up, Joel? I see that's a pseudo killer in the building. I got Miss Lisa in here too, man. I'm glad y'all showed up. This is gonna be a good one. You know, y'all know Chief X was in there he was acting up last night, man. He had a good time. Actually, I think it was a really good show. We got the politics part of it out the way, and we started talking about the conscious community. And I think that's where he's a lot more grounded. He has a lot more history with the conscious community than he did with the politics. Right? He was able to navigate that conversation about the conscious community a lot better. And I wasn't really up there to necessarily give a whole bunch of pushback to what he said, but then when it got too crazy, especially with the politics part, I had to kind of ask him at least something. But I didn't want to hold the show up. I didn't want to make it about me. And Chief X was up here doing his thing, and he conjured up his arch nemesis a day early. That was his own doing. Nobody else kind of planned that or none of that. Like. Unc was just in the audience like everybody else, and Chief X he said what he said, man. So Unc responded. So I'm sure that will come up at least once or twice in this conversation. But yeah, man, I kind of can't wait. Did y'all catch the show that we've been doing, the little pop-up live show that we did today? And we actually put that voice chat conversation as a live today. That was a live conversation that we were having. And man, if y'all don't know, we have like the best shows ever off of the camera, right? We're doing that behind the scenes, just like some stuff we just do every day. And by the time we get on the internet, a lot of times we done worked out almost all the stuff that we were wanting to say, right? We done said it 5 hours ago. So by the time, somebody finally pressed the button, everybody off work and we at home chilling, but we didn't got all the stuff off our chest. So it's kind of, you don't want to have that same conversation 2 times. The energy ain't going to be right. It's not going to it's not going to hit the same, so we've been kicking around back and forth, that genetic Charles Murray conversation. It won't go away for whatever reason. I guess we should be at the forefront of genetic policy. Policymakers out there. We need to introduce the Congress and the Senate to geneticists so they can be able to collaborate on making policies for us based on the variations in human populations. Look. Y'all take that however you want to. I know it doesn't sound, it don't sound coherent just yet, right? But that's why we need Fetty. Fetty put all that together and he put a little bow on it and he make it palatable. He break it down in a way that's digestible for people. I'm not gonna ruin that surprise because whenever it comes, probably be like next year sometime. Fetty will have a presentation for us and he'll walk us through why. He'll walk us through what he's saying, or whatever he's saying, or whatever he's saying that the expert is saying, or something like that, something of that nature, right? I'm trying to keep it clean, keep it political, because I want him to do the show. Don't get me wrong. I actually don't think Fetty's a bad guy. I just, whatever that is that he's caught up in, it's got a hold of him. Definitely does. And he needs to get that off his chest, right? So, for him getting it off his chest, I definitely support him doing that. Smart guy, wish him the best. I just think he's wrong on this particular conversation, but I can't discourage him. He might be on to something for all I know. It don't sound like he has enough to verify it, but we will see whenever he gets that presentation together. I think he's waiting on some articles that ain't came out yet, which kind of problematic when you're talking about how factual your argument is. But that's what he's doing. I can't make it up. I'm just saying what's happening out there. And what y'all doing on Saturday? Y'all spending y'all Saturday up inside with me on YouTube. I'm feeling that, man. Drop a like. Drop a like on your way in. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe to one of the channels. However you're watching it on Tri Media, or if you're watching it on Carnivorous Podcast, I'm gonna drop the Tri Media link in there so people can at least know where our channel is. I think, and we reposted that show from last night too. If y'all haven't had a chance to watch that, that's definitely out there. We had to clean up just a little bit of it, but we left all the good stuff in there. I think it was a couple seconds where it got even too wild for Ra's al Ghul right there. You know what I'm saying? We were too extreme for the League of Assassins for a quick minute. We had to get that off the screen. Let's see. Let me go ahead and drop that in there. There we go. There we go. No, that's the gram. We live on Facebook and everything. Oh yeah, we got all the accounts linked up. Beautiful. What y'all think, man? What do y'all think? I strongly think that this is right where, as Unc would say, right where the rubber actually meets the road in all these conversations. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about, do we prioritize effectiveness or we prioritize nostalgia, right? Do we sacrifice possible avenues or possible time, which is very, 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 very important, because our time is on Earth is finite, right? Do we sacrifice that in order to attempt to keep ideas in the concept that don't really need to be there or really don't benefit the movement? That's right there, right? That's right where your blackology can get in your way. And I'd be surprised to hear Unc making a mistake like that, but you know, we're gonna see. I want to hear what he got to say whenever he get his behind up here. What's up, Marcus? I see you in the chat, man. I need to call my dog Marcus, man. I ain't talked to Marcus in forever. Definitely a good dude. What am I talking about? Man, come on, Joel. I've been talking about this for 2 years now. At least the whole time I was in y'all Discord. I was constantly asking the question, right? Constantly saying that at some point in time, it seems like somebody said that we gonna emphasize this romanticism. Now we all know Unc ain't making that mistake, right? But inside of that rhetoric will cause you to hang on to some things, maybe even some people, right, that don't really help you move forward and keep you stagnated in the past. And that's ultimately what I'm talking about. So like let's take an example. You know, let's look at Donald Trump and some of the moves he's made. What does my African affinity, what does that contribute to how I look at the price of eggs? Can it help? In what capacity? Right? What about when it's time to elect a new president? Do I am I picking the one that is more potential? Am I picking the other person simply because they look more African? Like, is that all I need to know about them? I mean, again, you're still not even like top 5 as far as like how important Africa is going to be to any of those decision making processes. I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I try to, like I said, I try to keep it generic so I can get. I wanted to get Unc's opinion live, right? I wanted us to not get burnt out like we do in these Discord conversations, where we're sitting up there talking back and forth for 4 or 5 hours, and we get burnt out by the 4th hour, and somebody finally pressed the button, and we done talking about it now. You know what I'm saying? I done hashed it out. Now I'm ready to go do something else. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying my best to not speak for him. I don't want to assume what he's going to say because I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, y'all. Joel, I know you in the chat, man. What's going on with Cedric? He all right? The Brad's trolling already. Y'all heard from Cedric, man? He all right? A pink moon tonight, huh? I don't know about no pink moon. What's up, brother?
What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Hanging in there. Appreciate you coming, man.
Huh?
I said appreciate you coming. For sure. Solid guy, man. You know what? I got to tell this story too, because you know, coming from a member of the audience, right? The whole thing seems surreal to you the first time you see it. You know, you know this, looking at the same screen that I see, you know, Denzel Washington, the president of the United States. You look at people that's like on the internet and you see their face, and it's kind of like surreal at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first time I saw, you know, I told you actually, it was really Brother Reggie that suggested I even talk to you. And the first time I met you, and I decided to press the button, I kind of was at a loss for words. I felt like this was overwhelming to me, and now here I am making my own shows. I never would have thought that at the time, but I said that to say that meeting you was like totally not what I expected. Right? Totally not. Like I was expecting a lot more arrogance, a little bit more standoffish. You know, not somebody that you're gonna really get access with and just have a regular conversation. And that's really what you is. Solid dude, just humble, down to earth, regular guy, man. Just into science. You know, that's just what I get from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a pleasure talking to you. Conversations always be good, man. So, you know, we're gonna keep that up. That's gonna be fine.
Yeah, you gotta catch them personal conversations, man. You know, like James Smalls. You know what I mean? Like the first time I met him, I'm not even putting myself in his category. I'm just making a point. You know, he gave me access to people I normally wouldn't have access to. And just based off my conversation, he understood that I was serious about understanding what was going on. I appreciated him. And so just having those personal conversations with people like that, you know, it's kind of surreal, right? And I realized that the personal conversations I want to have, the things that I talk about when we dealing with the information history, I want to be able to say the exact same thing. The hell with all the rest of that. So there's certain conversations I can have with certain people, and they won't talk about that. They won't, you know, because of fear of losing their audience. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I get it. You know, I work to get better. And, you know, I appreciate you, Logic.
Likewise.
And I appreciate all my friends. And I always hope that my friends can get along at times we won't. And but that, you know, that's okay. But I don't know how to be no more than down to earth. Sometimes it's to my own default. So I've kind of like, you know, kind of pushed back a little bit, not being as friendly with people, not giving them that access, I start going back into my Baltimore bag where you had no access. You know what I'm saying? Where I ain't talking to everybody, I ain't doing everything. I can't do it, man, because the ignorance is so high. And yeah, and I understand the ignorance, bro. So let me start off with this. We always say people scamming, right? Because based off of where we at and understanding this thing called life or this thing called the natural history of Earth, we'll look at the person and say, yo, you can't be serious. But really, they don't know. They ignorant. All you gotta do is think back on who you was a year ago. And our first conversations and where you at now, right? And you realize that you suffered or still suffering from the same thing that everybody still suffers or suffering from. It's just based off of the level of conversations or the level of the person you actually talking to. So when I'm talking to, certain experts, okay, I realize that hell, I'm just as ignorant as y'all. You know, like, damn, really?
Right.
Yeah, and then I realized, well, man, I know how to catch the hell up. Not be in a league, because there's a standard on earth, bro. And what I always wanted to promote was that standard. Okay. So the standard is it ain't free. That's your first thing. It's not free, bro. It costs money for Charles Darwin to circumnavigate the damn globe, bro. He didn't do it. It wasn't free. It wasn't a free venture. Right? It costs money for Napoleon and them to go to Egypt, to the Nile Valley, to bring a whole scientific expedition with them. It wasn't free. It costs money. Because when you get there, you got to have guns. You don't know who you're going to run into. You got to pay the scientists. Okay? It's all in their memoirs. It's all documented. You got to have books printed. You got to have works in detail. You got to have experts with you. These are some of the most educated people on earth at the time. None of this shit was free. That's the daggone level, bro. The level ain't free. It costs money to sit in the stadium and watch the daggone pros, which are experts at what they do. Costs money, bro, right? Even if you want to watch them on TV, it's going to cost you some kind of bread. It's all business at the end of the day. So when you're on YouTube and you get your information free, you know, I got people, that's all they do, get this shit for free. Find some internet books and all that, and they come out like they're some experts. And I never wanted to do that to the people. I wanted to let them know this thing ain't free. You talking, how much does it cost to run a university? Now I'm talking about our ignorance.
Right.
Umar Johnson would not be able to trick us if we understood how much the level costs. We would have known from day one, bro, that the level ain't getting cash apps and PayPals to build no damn school. We just say you're a fraud from the beginning. Knock it off. Certain communities are educated and understand that to buy a college, okay, with 20 or 30 acres, right, you have to cut the grass every 2-3 weeks, bro, or you run around in the forest. You have to pay the water bill. You have to pay the staffing. You have to pay the people to clean the damn building, bro. And these bills are coming constantly. And a PayPal and some quote unquote money you send me in the mail is not going to sustain this. It's not going to get that 2.5 million ticket that brother needed, that he was claiming he's going to buy that building. So he was able to scam us based off our ignorance of understanding how, one, to even purchase a major building like he was trying to purchase, and two, to keep that building sustained. We was ignorant to it. So we just gave him our damn money, bro. And I was like, man, I said it early in the game. I said he's scamming. He looked at me like I was tripping.
Mm-hmm.
I said endowments. You don't know what endowments are? Right? Howard University has a very large endowment, right? These are monies, right, that people give to the universities that are invested to keep money coming in, bro. And so you need investments, you know. So we get tricked based off our ignorance. So now we on YouTube having a conversation, okay, around experts that occurred in the Cairo Symposium, and we think we can get with them. You can't get with no expert. Okay, you're not. Because every time you think you got the expert, they're going to have more access. Why they have more access? Because they have more money. It's about access. I like to give the example of a NASCAR driver, okay, or a Formula One driver and a damn street racer. Street racer might be fast as hell driving in the daggone street, might beat the average driver, right? But put that street racer on that oval or a Formula One track, he gonna get beat every time. One, he ain't gonna have the money to build the car. His tools, his equipment is not gonna be on par. Some of his skills might look like expert skills, right? But the very tools he uses is not gonna allow him to compete at all, bro. So that's why people that are dirt track drivers, street drivers, dirt track drivers, they keep elevating forward till they can get funding, till they can get the type of cars they need to drive to compete with the experts, and then to get the skill set, and then the way you be an expert is to compete against experts. And as you compete against experts and get friendships, you get information that's being passed back and forth, expertise. So we got a problem in this community, yo. It's death to expertise. And big up to the pseudo killers, because we're going to get back to that. Right? We've reading the book, Death to Expertise. We on that. This is the problem, bro, that regular, everyday old people think they can get with the experts. So much so that when we bring the damn experts, they all claim that the experts agree with them. It was a clear misunderstanding.
I don't know how they do that. At the end of all of that, they saying what you saying, huh?
At the end of all that, bro. So what? Come on, man. Like, so it belonged to a major university. Okay, faculty. To get your associate's degree, to get your master's degree, to get your doctorate degree. You had people on here yesterday that didn't know the difference between a PhD and an MD.
He thought Soy Kiata was a medical doctor. He was messing it up.
No. Kata is a medical doctor.
I thought he was just a medical doctor. I stand corrected.
He didn't know the difference between a PhD and a medical. But I'm saying the man, so he doesn't know the history of the field. See what I'm saying? So the history of the field, a lot of them people that we reading about, more than them, they was medical doctors. Mm-hmm. So Kata wanted to go in that direction. He wanted to get that same type of education that they did. A lot of them was medical doctors, anatomists. They studied anatomy. Of course, a medical doctor would have to understand anatomy, right? Dr. Kata studied skulls. Right. Okay, he can take a skull and look at the difference between this skull and that skull, and look and just understand it, right? And he's also a bioanthropologist and about 10 other things that I don't even feel like mentioning. Okay, so you got people who don't got the money to back them, right? Don't got the colleges and universities to back them. All this is important. Don't have the time and hours in the field. All this is important. You wouldn't let a person fly a daggone plane. You wouldn't trust a pilot, right? Who hasn't flown a certain amount of hours, would you? Think about that. All he flying was kites. And now you're going to let him fly a jet. It's not going to happen.
Not with me in there.
Not okay, so we shouldn't do it without scholarship. See that? See the difference? An expert is an expert is an expert. Oh, you just trying to put emphasis? No. None of them, bro. And the trick is, the confidence game is to convince you that we can be just as good as the experts. You don't even got enough money to be just as good as the experts. So think about this, yo. I'd say you're a rapper, right? And you got a decent career. and you rap, and on the side, your hobby is reading the Meta Nature. I think that's dope. You're a far better rapper than a goddamn Egyptologist, than a goddamn expert. And it is clear. Y'all know I'm talking about Smash Scam Wells. It's clear. But you can't tell them that. Because humans always think they far more intelligent than they really are. We always think it's a syndrome. I forget the name of it. What it's called?
Dunning-Kruger.
Dunning-Kruger effect, bro, where humans think they're actually smarter than they are. And we're always fighting this. Right? And that's okay. And so it's the ignorance. It's the depth of expertise. It's the lack of funding. It's all these things. It's why, you know what I'm saying, I want to separate myself all the way. I had to, bro. I just had to. You got people that's actually high. Right? Now, I don't talk about people like I ain't a hypocrite to say, yo, don't get high. Right? I'm not. I'm just saying, yo, when you're having a certain level of conversation, when you're in the middle of your research, why are you high? When you're trying to transmit a clear message, why are you high? We all been high before, most of us, man. There's a difference between when you sober and had some rest and clearly thinking, right? Like when you about to take an exam or like when you come into the community to talk about it. There's a difference between when you high, right? When I say high, I mean drinking and all that, because drinking is a drug, huh? Yeah, it's a drug. Alcohol is a drug. All right. So we're literally listening to people that's drunk, bro. Giving out a message. That ain't why I came into this thing. I came into this thing to make sure that we knew the damn difference between an expert and a regular guy on YouTube like me. Right? I want you to know the difference, right? And I want you to know I wanted to advocate for science. Mm-hmm. I want to show you that there's a clear difference, that somebody around us should at least know what the hell a goddamn experts are saying, yo. I wanted to be that dude to make sure that we knew there was a difference. Now, I may do a little bit better than just an average novice, right? I'm gonna let everybody determine that. I've met some friends, right? I get to talk to experts. I get to have conversations, but that alone does not make me nowhere near expert. I know there's a certain train of thought that has to occur. There's a certain thing that you have to do. There's a certain amount of money that you will have to spend to become an expert. There's certain paperwork you have to get. Like there's no, what would I like to say? There's no shading that, bro. Mm-hmm. There's no skipping that. People like to skip steps.
Right.
Right? I can read the Meta Nature. You may be able to read the Meta Nature, but can you put in this proper context like an expert would? Do you know enough to know when you're wrong? It's clear. And since it's Dunning-Kruger all around this bitch, right? Most of us.
Y'all look at the cousin.
I said one word. Didn't I say one word?
It was one, but I'm just saying.
I think I can get one.
Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy like the actual crazy guy. He actually got a little issue.
I ain't gonna go there.
That ain't you, yeah.
No, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't even doing that no more. But there's a level to this thing we doing here, man. We sit there, we look at the experts. We looked at the Cairo Symposium where, there were one third of the group, okay, were Africans. Some African Americans, right? I don't even think that Walter Rodney, I think he was kind of editor, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even think they had no African. One, Walter Rodney, with the rest of them, they was continental Africans, right? And they wanted them to participate in telling the general history of Africa. But it wasn't all Africans. They just wanted to make it even. They wanted to make sure that our thing was heard. And nobody actually, all that stuff people be talking about, right? Look, they didn't even pay attention to it. Hold on. And they didn't pay attention to it because the general, I hate when people move my Shit. Boy, they do that on a regular basis. Hold on, yo. Because if you look at the first daggone book, the first book is called Methodology, man. Hold on. Here you go. Look. See, the first book, it was called the General History. But it's methodology, yo.
Who's that from?
It's the general history of
You mean
Africa.
like who wrote it?
UNESCO.
Okay.
Methodology, bro. What we talk? All this shit I'm talking about. The method, how you getting to what you're getting to. Okay? They talk about archaeology. They talk about evolution. They talk about, so when we was having this conversation, bro, and I made the statement that to understand a population, you have to understand populations and you have to understand biology. And if you understand biology, you have to have an understanding of evolution. And that's how, and they looked at me and they threw bananas at me, bro.
They kind of have to though. They don't really have nothing once you kind of take that stuff away from them. And I think so. This brings us right to the segue into the convo, right? Because I think this is where I chose to focus a little bit more on trying to understand what's really going on. And when it, like what is the thing that gives birth to something like a Black Egypt? You know what I'm saying? Like what's the social circumstances that forces that out of people? You know what I'm saying? So like you remember when one time you asked us all a question, he was like, man, y'all think such and such is scamming? We went all the way around the room and everybody said, no, I don't think so. And at the time, I'm really sold because I don't see, I was sold that it was because I don't see how you can go through this process of teaching and learning for 5+ years and never run across a question that causes you to challenge some of your preconceived notions, right? You have not moved from your preconceived notion before you started studying till 10 years. Like you ain't learned nothing about your position or nothing new about your position from the time you knew absolutely nothing all the way till you can read what it actually says. To me, that's problematic. That's huge problematic. But I feel like there's got to be something there that the person feels like I
Give
am
me an example.
getting. Huh?
Give me an example of the person, because knowing what who the person you're talking about is important. Because a lot of times these ideas we hear, right? We not seeing them in real time. We seeing them in the 80s.
Well, I'm talking about Smash, right? We were having a conversation about if Smash is a scammer. And at the time, I was actually sold that he would have to be, and I just explained why, right? And I said that because you can't go that long from not reading the language, having a preconceived notion that they're already Black, to now reading the language, understanding a little bit more about the culture, and your position has not moved 1 inch from both of the extremes. So now you know, and before when you did, you still got the same opinion that you didn't, like as you did when you didn't know nothing. That's problematic to me. So what I was saying is that at some point you would have encountered some information. At some point you would have encountered a person asking a question that would even cause you to look at what you're saying in a critical way, right? To there's no way that you could be honest about your position and it had never moved, right? You get what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it moving. There's nothing wrong with it admitting that I might have been a little bit off right here. So let me just adjust that. So my point ultimately is like, I feel as though Smash and others have made a decision to say what I'm saying is more beneficial than the truth, right? And that's where I'm still trying to figure it out, right? I tried to have a conversation with Small. I didn't really get to some of the stuff I really wanted to get to. And maybe I probably should have just been a little bit more straight out and just cut him off, ask him what I wanted to. But out of respect, I kind of let him do his thing. But that's where I feel like That's how we got to this conversation right here, right? And honestly, I know that you're not a blackologist, so I'm
Nah.
very curious of why
Nah,
you think
bro.
we need Africa for activism. Because if you ask me,
Now I gotta hold on. I
Smash is
got a
doing
little.
activism. He's not doing history.
I got a pinch of blackology. You got to keep that.
Okay,
You know what I'm
you got
saying?
a
Like
healthy dose. You got
you,
the
you,
healthy dose then.
you got to keep a little bit of that, you know. So when you know what I mean, because there's a residue that's left over from the slave trade, from colonialism, okay, from the development of the United States, from the influx of Africans, enslaved Africans building America. This was a wild period in history. It was the global economy. That thing just don't disappear like that. Although people of all shades and colors have worked hard to change humanity, right? When the dust settles and the dust clear, it settles, bro. And all you need is a Yahoo like the president to kick it up, right? And then you see some people, they're ignorant because it's based off of ignorance. See, our conversation is talking about ignorance and talking about race and the ignorance of it and understanding of it. You talking about people with high level educations. So my thing is that Smash ain't scamming like you think he's scamming. What the real scam is that he's scamming us into thinking that he understands the subject.
Okay,
that's the scam. Not what he's saying, not his reading of the Meta Nature, not his conversations. Yo, all of them are scamming us because they acting like they know. They acting like they the experts. They acting like they actually have challenged the experts. They acting like they have access to. That's the scam. See?
Yeah, you definitely can't fool me that says Smash got as much access as
No, he don't got that money.
He absolutely.
No, he don't got that money to do that. He's not wasting his money. No, he can't call somebody up and say, "Yeah, Doctor such and such. I know you over in Kenya right now on an archaeological dig, and I read one of your papers, and it said you found some artifacts in a certain place." And it was something new, and you figured it out. I think I might be running into this situation right here. What was that? You see what I'm saying? He don't got that. He doesn't have that.
They got that. I mean,
none of them got that.
You ain't messing with that,
right? And I'm saying that's important to be able to talk to have correspondence with 4 or 5 PhDs in the field, bro. Right? To talk to some bioanthropologists, to talk to some archaeologists, to talk to some anthropologists, right? To be able to visit their universities, check out some of their work, to be able to go on archaeological digs, to be able to, that's strength in numbers, bro. They have to have conversations back and forth with those who really understand all the terminology. That's important, bro. You on YouTube fighting back and forth with me. How's that helping your position at all? You can't even get past me.
Right.
Come on, bro. Let me do this, though. How would I like to do this? Since Chief X was definitely drunk. And I would like to say this about Chief X. Man, see, I used to be, when I told everybody, I said, that dude drunk, yo. Y'all threw tomatoes at me. Nah, yo, I say no, yo. Like, I know, like, come on. I've been in that life. I know what it is. I know what it is to be around an alcoholic, bro. And I don't use this shit lightly. People throw that shit, you're a crackhead. Nigga, I ain't never been no motherfucking crackhead. Yeah, I might have smoked cocaine. Crack is a whole, some people make debate whether, but it's the manner of it. You know what I'm saying? I think the crack is the manner of it. You know what I'm saying? I always could get me something. I never was in the position where I had to run around and do the fight. I just didn't. I just wasn't in that. Was I homeless? Yeah, I was all above, right? Was I in rehabs? I did all the rehabs. I've been around all the alcoholics, all the heroin addicts, all that. I ain't shading that. Man, that's in my story, right? So if I say to you, that man drinking and he drunk, y'all looked at me like, huh? I could tell that Chief X, when he not drinking, he an all right human being, yo. You can actually have a conversation with this man, yo. Mm-hmm. When he get to drink, he a whole nother person. You know, that's one of the first inklings of a person being an alcoholic, yo. Where their whole personality changed, yo. It's some of us that was raised in our family. We was raised around alcoholics, yo. So I'm not saying this to be funny. See, it ain't funny to me no more. Y'all think that shit funny. Y'all take advantage of that, man. You can always take advantage of a drunk person. Y'all doing that. Not me. I don't think it's funny. You're like this man is really struggling right now. And when I came on the show yesterday, I said, yo, so he said, yeah, yo, you used to smoke crack. I saying you doing no more, but yeah, okay, bro. I said, but you're substituting right now. Do y'all know what substituting is?
You switching vices.
When a person have a habit, right? And now they do other things. Like, so if you say if cocaine was your drug of choice, all right, and now all of a sudden you stop the cocaine usage, okay, and then you all of a sudden you pick up drinking and smoking weed, but you do it at a level where it affects who you are as a person. We will call that substituting. Y'all can look that up, right? And so my point is, this man is in trouble. All right. And I don't think it's funny to bring a person on and take advantage of them being drunk. Do you know if it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, it's 6 o'clock on the West Coast?
Yes, I do.
So you know this man was drunk at 6 o'clock in his house. Yo, imagine being now if you had a wedding and it's 6 o'clock and you toasty, but if you drunk in a bar during lunchtime, yo, that's a problem. If it's 6 o'clock and you in your house and you drunk, that's a problem. This man is reaching out for help, yo. Let me play this video. Let me help him out. Yeah,
Let me share your screen for you.
Let me help him out. Because he got a lot of mouth, right? Real slick. He's super slicky guy. He talk all that talk. He do all that bar.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it, run from it. Destiny still arrives. Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
A new term
Chief
from
X.
Tariq Nasheed, and you accept it, you on some fuck shit.
All right, Chief X, do you think I'm saying I'm not African American?
Fuck FBA.
Hold on, do you think I'm saying I'm not African
Fuck
American?
FBA. You are an African American.
Right, I agree. But do you think I'm saying I'm not African American?
Fuck what you talking about in your question, nigga. You are African American. Don't play no mind games with me,
So hold
nigga.
on.
You ain't got no new label.
So hold on.
Stop this motherfucking bullshit you niggas is on.
Listen.
Reggie and Ankh is right tonight.
Man, calm the
They
fuck
may be
down.
wrong another night, but they're right tonight.
I'm clipping that. I promise you I'm clipping that.
If you think that I'm saying I'm not
I wouldn't give a fuck
African-American
what you saying.
because
You're wrong.
I'm ADOS or FBA, you tripping.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Y'all niggas just got a what the fuck? A personal issue with goddamn.
The only reason you going against FBA is because I'm going against FBA. So you trying to claim to spite me.
Y'all know what's going on. And so do I.
Listen here. We is not FBA. That's a whole bunch of misinformation. Damn it. We is Chickasaw. You hear me? We is Lumbee. Nigga.
Fuck FBA.
I forgot how funny that was. Shout out to Boostetto, man. Boostetto, you really do some good stuff, bro. Man, you definitely do, man. We trying to find a way we can get you on the team, bro. You do some really, really good editing. If nothing else, I could use you to learn from you. To helping me out with these videos. Take what you know, and maybe even be able to shorten up my process. But for real, shout out to you, and shout out to my man DQ, man. I can't, for some reason, I can't figure out how to switch this over so I can play some of your stuff on our commercials. So if one of y'all try media
Is that
guys,
one left?
huh?
It's going to be in your right hand corner. In your right hand
I know
corner.
how to get to it, but we got it like under a bunch of different stuff. Like we got a brass part, we got a logic part.
That's up top. That's up top. You got to go up top.
Clicking on it and it ain't switching. I don't know what that is, so I'm afraid to leave out because I think it's going to shut it down. But if you out there, man, if I could get you to show up for a second, maybe I could fix that. But anyway, we going good. We running. I could play something for a commercial, but it ain't what I want to play. That's all.
My point being, this man, whenever he act like that, right, he drinking. He got caught. You know how you try to hide it. But he been like that for years now, bro.
Hilarious.
Right. So now that puts a whole different light on this whole situation. I'm up there arguing with people under the influence heavily. Like, how they supposed to understand what I'm saying, bro?
I don't know. I don't know. You
like
got me there.
That's like a drunk professor, teaching evolution. Come on, So we already behind the curve of not being experts and going and having some formal training in school. We already behind that, and then we want to be drunk on top of all that, and then think we're gonna be coherent and remember the things we saying about each other. Remember, I used to say that. They be like, "No, I ain't drunk. Come on, why don't you debate him?" Why would I debate a drunk, Y'all kept saying that. I was like, dude, he's a drunk, bro. He is, and y'all think I'm not even being funny, That's what it is, And now, based off my situation, what I've been through, right? And I know it's a struggle, bro. Right? I don't think we didn't say so much damning things about Sister Tiffany, about Juju, all the sisters, you know what I'm saying, and the pseudo killers, man. He did that shit under the influence of alcohol and marijuana, bro. Like, and whatever the hell he doing, it's wild to me, bro. He don't even remember the lies he said. Betting money. They bet money last night, but the dude still ain't paid me my daggone money. Man, the nigga owed me $100. Remember that? The bet the nigga we supposed to debate probably got drunk the night before, couldn't get up. Right? Look, he's saying his lie was why he ain't show up for the debate on Sarnetta's was because he had, watch this, because he was vending and he vended an extra day. Right? But guess when he's telling us this? He's telling us this on the stream on the day he was supposed to be debating me. So why are you here now, T-Vex?
Right.
Why didn't you show up to debate? You're here. You get that?
Right. I feel you.
And then why you don't debate him? You got one time to make me take time away from my busy schedule with my damn family. My damn children, bro. You got one time to make me spend a week or 2 a month studying and then fake me out and don't come, and you think I'm gonna ever do it again, bro? For what? So I actually didn't even come in tonight to even respond to all that nonsense. I just want to say the reason that I don't deal with the guy is because of the disrespect he showed towards the women, right? And, constantly never apologizing to that, bro. We heard him, right? We heard him. So back to the expert thing, bro, man, people are scamming us because their plan is like they know. And I'm saying, no, they don't, All right, they don't, bro. We're very vulnerable to this type of information. The conscious community is that information.
Very vulnerable.
Right? It is the environment, bro. That's why, being in this environment, I always wanted to show people what the difference was, and I always got that. So, you know what I mean? Look, man, it's serious, bro. And I'm saying, like, if you don't understand that it costs millions of dollars to run universities, bro, then this conversation ain't for us, man.
Right.
You get it?
I definitely get it, man. It's really not even close. You know, when you put it in perspective. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So when you put it in perspective, of kind of like what we saw last night,
Can
it kind of
can
makes
I jump in the chat? I like to
yeah.
jump in the chat
Do
sometime,
your
right?
thing, man.
Look, facts over personality. He said I got timed out for down talking about cash app beggars. Like, so let me see. We live in a world in America, right, where people get paid for doing exactly what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't want to let out nobody's business, right? I don't let nobody business, right? But you know, people can get paid for interviews, which is par for the course. Okay? I know. All right. And you hitting somebody Cash App is showing you appreciation for them. I will surely give a Cash App to people who I feel like is giving some good information, man. I do it. I appreciate that for their time because they could be somewhere else, bro. So the name's Maya Cash App beggar. That means you ain't got no money. Like that means you don't got it to give. That means that you hating at that point. Like, why would you care? Why would you care if a person asks, drop their Cash App, whatever, however they do it, right? And giving out information that their audience like. Like, so why you think somebody need to be on here just for free? It's very amazing, and it shows the level at times that us as African Americans can be. Right? So other communities, okay, they understand the value of donating, bro. Philanthropy. They understand the value of that. Right? They understand the value of donating their time, volunteering their time. I made my kids volunteer. You had to in my house. You had to volunteer. All right. It's a value in that. It's a value in going to other places in the world and helping out the people. It's value in that. It's value in helping out your own community, going to your community, whether you hand out money, hand out cigarettes, take, you know what I'm saying? I got tapes of me in the shelter, in the homeless spots, giving out money, bro. You feel me? That I collected from the community. That's important. So to say people be begging for, that's crazy to me, bro. Like, I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, facts over. I don't understand that, bro. I don't get your logic in that, bro. What all you gotta do is don't give it. Don't hit the Cash App, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who Facts Fixing is. Right, I tried to calm you down a little bit, man, because honestly, I don't think it's disrespectful at all for him to be asking for cash apps. Right, as you know, this is time away from his family. You know what I'm saying? It's Saturday night. We could be doing anything. You know, the man. I guess he's kind enough to come have a conversation with me, and you know, help entertain the masses with me. So, you know, why would I not support him? You know what I'm saying? I don't really get the thing. Like, it's almost like you want all the man time to be free. His time don't belong to you, don't belong to me, right?
Yeah,
He getting it to me right now, you know. So
yeah, I ain't got it. I don't know what he talking about.
I don't know what he talking about either, right? I don't have no problem with the man, you know, getting some money off of the time he spent reading books, the time he spent on YouTubes. I don't see it like that.
I buy good books. I buy books from Germany and other places.
Yeah, I don't see it like that. And as a matter of fact, your man goes as far as to, like he's saying, he invests good money in the good books for his hobby, right?
I get real books
to come on here and give us the good information. So I don't got no problem with it. And you know, it ain't no who broke and who not thing, but like, yeah, I think you just got the wrong idea about economics or something.
I read shit.
I
read books I know y'all ain't reading, like the Scopes Monkey Trial. You don't know what this is. Defining Moments in the Scopes Monkey Trial. You don't know what this is. You have no idea. You don't know what this is. Hardback too. You don't know what that is.
No.
I always whip out the German collection. I got about 10 books from Germany. I always whip out the German collection. Right? A lot of books from Germany. I'm not sitting up here just talking or asking or I don't know. Man, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm talking about Morton and all them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Morton and all them, bro.
Yeah,
JC Knox and all them.
Barely in production and shit. Yeah.
Scientific racism. I got the books. Y'all talking crazy. You
Yeah, I
over
don't
there
know what's
tripping.
wrong
This
with it.
shit costs money. Why you think I should be just doing that shit for free? Why you think I need to take money away from my children to send college, yo? Why you think that? Who you think
I
you
don't know
is,
what's
yo?
I don't know
Who
what's
think you
wrong with
talking to, yo? Yeah, who you talking to, yo? Yeah, and then you get drunks up here that don't got no books and swear they the first people to say they did something. I'm the first person to say that Egypt wasn't black. No, you wasn't. That shit was at the Cairo Symposium.
Right. I was thinking the same thing today. No, Sunron kicked that shit off. That's who kicked it off. You really won't know. He told y'all top notch scholar, right? You done went a little too far with that Negroid thing. You going a little bit too far with that. You know, we're gonna look into some of the rest of this stuff, you know, ongoing topic. But as far as that Negroid thing, you're going a little bit too far. So yeah, if anybody kicked it off, it'd have been Sonoran in 74. So
yeah, and these books in German, some of them have English and German in the book. All right, that's how they don't make them. For y'all that don't know, big up to Limbe. I see you, Brass. Big up to you, Limbe,
It's all
man.
love, man.
Honored pseudo killer official, man. Brother, do tight work, yo. Yeah, I mean, we keep the gloves on. Excellent. Excellent source material.
How y'all got
At the
that
level.
thing? How y'all got that thing started? I don't think I want to hear your story, you know, on wax. How and why did that get started?
Which one? With the pseudo killers?
The pseudo killers, right? So this is coming off the back end of the Amin Ra squad, right?
Yeah, it's coming. Well, it was a video made on the Amaral Squad channel, the Gods of Atheism, something like that. Go check that out. Amaral Squad Media. And for the first time, Sinjetti being funny, he wouldn't give me the link. He's supposed to do the show. Now I'm the bona fide real black atheist. Yo, how you gonna have a show on atheism and don't include me? So that was the first show of disrespect because I had never done that to none of them. Right? I don't care what I'm talking about. I'm dropping a link. Let's get it in.
Right.
They wouldn't let me on. I was like, oh, that's real religious right there. That's real godly of them. Right? I was like, I was offended. Yo, you should never offend a person. I'm like, I'm offended with that. Right? So I ain't get on there. So I say, all right, I see where this is going. I'm really the good guy, dog. I'm the nice guy, yo. I don't say nothing about that pseudo shit they was saying, right? Trying to be an expert. I let that go, right? I let that go in the face of when I shouldn't have let that go. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? I know that this ain't what the experts is saying, but I'm gonna give you, maybe you can get there, right? So I had this idea. Now, see, there was some things that Chief X said that was correct, right? So as I'm building the Amaral Squad platform, me and Gozy, Asar and everybody else, right? You know, I wanted to build a standard where we would have a chance to challenge experts, right? But even that right there showed my inability to really recognize and understand what experts really was. But it was a damn good start, though, Logic. Right? It was a damn good start, right? So, with a lot of mistakes, bro. Okay. So when I said them things, I really thought that thing to be true. I really thought that we could do that. But as I got deep into it, Logic, as I learned more, I was like, nah, we got to get the paperwork. So I was thinking maybe we would get the paperwork behind that. You get my point? You can't challenge an expert, yo, if you ain't got the paperwork behind that. You're going to need some paperwork behind that because it's just they're going to ignore. You could be fucking right. You're just going to get ignored out the door. Nobody's doing that. They're not going to come all the way down. You got to show them that you can at least make the G League.
Yep.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like they say in the NBA, yo, a person that never played a game that made an NBA team and been on that team for years will come off that team after they retire and beat the shit out of every street ball there is. Or beat the brakes off of them. Right. We seen it happen. The white, I forget it. The pros against the joke. You see the white boy. He was on.
I was just about to say it. Scalabrini. That was one of the coolest quotes ever. One of the coolest quotes ever. The man said, "Yeah, we know LeBron is the best, right? and we know I can't beat LeBron, but I'm a lot closer to LeBron than you are, right? And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Right? As big, slow, fat Scalabrini will cook you, right?
Cooking them.
Coming off the bench, 10th man will cook you. And he was doing it on TV. That was one of the best lines. Yeah, that was fire.
I mean, cooking them.
Cooking.
You hear me, yo?
Cooking them, right. Really cooking them.
Cooking them.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I done been in the gym with some pros, yo. You be playing. Yo, I remember this time, I ain't even gonna say his name. Yo, the nigga, the game was tied. I pushed him, right? I cheated. You know how I'm a pusher out there. I'm pushing. I pushed him, and this is when I was young. I was probably about 38, right? I pushed it and slipped it and got that bucket on him. I was like, yeah, I'm talking shit. So it's tied. Now, he never playing. He coaching the whole game. Yo, this time, yo, listen, bro. He got that motherfucker. Listen, yo. He caught that motherfucker like this and was gone. And he dunked it. Nigga, I had never heard a dunk sound like that in my life. It sounded like the rim exploded. Boom! He was like, yeah. I was like, damn, that nigga pro.
He turned up on you one quick time and you realized.
He said, I ain't playing. I wasn't never playing.
Right.
I wasn't playing.
Right, I'm running. I'm
like,
not even on the treadmill, on outside.
Yeah.
You know
he said, I'm just getting, I'm trying to, because they had switched the ball in the NBA. He said, I'm just trying to get used to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm just telling. He was right, yo. Like it was like, yo, like he caught it, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put that arm on him. He caught it, he was gone. Listen, yo, I'm already in the stand somewhere, yo. He gone. I don't know where he leave from, yo. Yo, all I heard was the thing explode. Yo, I didn't even know you could dunk that hard, yo. It was crazy. Different. I was like, oh.
Definitely, they definitely different.
The strength is different. I done played basketball with Rodney Harris and all them. Yo, they strength is different, yo. It's like you don't even belong in the same arena with them. The strength is different, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, like different. I say all to say it's the same with the experts, yo.
Right.
When you putting that kind of money invested into a college education, right? The reading, the writing, the comprehension it's a reason for this, yo. It's a reason why we advocate this for our community. We advocate this for our community because it's so important, bro. Right? Because we supposed to operate at the level. A good example, I always say a good example of fathers of the Jewish community, they operate the level. They're never going to sit around and cry about you not wanting to teach their history. You ever heard them cry about that?
Who you said? Who
Jewish community.
Nah. I ain't never heard them complain about they want some more Jewish education in our curriculum. None of that. Never heard that.
They only cry about when you mess it up. Mm-hmm. And they come with a vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the problem is with our community? We teach the backwards history. The conscious community is based off of teaching backwards crazy history. The popularized version, the president, John Hanson, the first black president, the Egyptians is black and all that. The whole 9 yards, yo, we misappropriate African-American history on levels unbeknown, yo. It's crazy. It is based off our inferiority. We the Hebrews, we this, we all that, yo, instead of really understanding what African and African-American history is. And so back to the point. So they did not allow me to get on that show. I'm like, all right, we're going to drive it after we finish. Get our points off. I'm like, oh. I said, I'm done with these niggas.
Did you dirty, huh?
So I say, bet. So I said, I'm going to stop messing with it. I got offline for a while. I recollected myself. I said, yo, what's our point here? I say, what's going on here? And it's going to take me to the other part of the conversation I'm going to talk about, bro. What was going on here is that we had people who was afraid of God. They was afraid to experience seeing the world through the eyes of nature. They was actually afraid, yo, that although they had claimed to practice, some of them say they practice African spirituality, right, and all that, and we don't believe in the mountain, yo, but they was just transferring shit, bro. It's like Chief X, right? Although he don't do cocaine no more, he's substituting with drink and smoke. So they was substituting, right, the colonizing God with the African God. right? Meaning they couldn't even perceive how Africans really did it. They wasn't really doing the sacrifices, and that none of them was actually doing that for real, for real. Maybe they was, maybe they wasn't. But they couldn't do it to the point where they could just leave me the hell alone. See, really, you supposed to let me be the atheist, right? Don't worry about what the crowd is saying because you know what you is, right? Mm-hmm. That was the friction, bro. Right? That was the friction. It ended up being the believers and the non-believers. You feel me? Those who was willing, right, to adhere to the experts and those that thought they was better than the experts. That shit split right down the middle. Funny part about it was the young guys, like Ngozi, like Team Osiris, right? They was able to go. They was like, come on, yo, these niggas is skank, yo. They not that. Like, come on, yo. Because I'm not just turning away from my peoples like that, right? I'm going to fight as long as I can fight. I'm going to try to get I know it's an issue when the older and the younger is fighting, yo. It shouldn't be that. I always felt like I could bring it together and we could work out our differences, yo. You know what I'm saying? I thought I could do that. Mm-hmm. But at the end, yo, either you can go or you can't. If you realize how serious it is being an expert or you don't, bro. So I get away for a minute, I chill, and Vance got in contact with me. He was like, yo, what's up? Explain who he was, right? He said, I got a little podcast. And I was like, yeah, let me check it out. I'm like, oh, this young nigga right here doing his thing. All right, doing his thing. And so I did a couple podcasts with him, had some fun. And we was talking about physics, the space, I was like, damn, I'm sitting here, yo. I say I'm vibing with this dude, man. This young nigga got me going. I was like, yeah. I said, let me call up my man, Kent. Kent always fuck with. I said, let me call him up. Right? Warrior, soldier, however you want to say, loyal dude to the end. Called him up. I said, yo, let's, you down? Yo, let's do something. Let's do some pseudo killing. Yo, let's, you know what I mean? I said, start a group. Let's do like that. Vance. And so that's where it started from, yo. Then y'all know the story, man. Everybody came in. Yep. And that rule was, nigga, for real, the rule was, I'm going to say it was, they relaxed the rule. And then whenever you relax the rule, this shit going to fuck up. The rule was you had to be a damn atheist. Because I knew the religious shit is what got in the way the last round.
Okay. That makes sense.
See?
So look, okay.
So hold on, let's finish. So at least we got the majority atheists and some people that are agnostic. Am I saying it right? How you say it?
Agnostic.
Agnostic.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. It's right there, either or. And then you got Christian, no Christian. That's my man, Christian, no Christian.
That's my man too. I definitely. You got some good people over there. Absolutely,
yeah, some good people. I always had good people. Go, but that's how I start.
Let me run one of these commercials right quick. We're gonna get back to it.
Quanboy EP by DQ Hampton. From Waco to the world, Quanboy EP is the raw, unapologetic soundtrack of a country boy turned city king. DQ Hampton blends Southern grit with East Coast wit, delivering a project that reflects his hustle, his risks, and his relentless ambition. This EP isn't just music, it's a statement. With hard-hitting beats, intricate wordplay, and a vibe that moves from smoked-out introspection to high-energy motivation. Quanboy EP takes you on a journey through DQ's life, where every bar is a lesson and every hook is a moment. From the deep bass lines that shake the block to smooth melodic storytelling, this project showcases why DQ Hampton is a force in the game. No gimmicks, just real music for real ones. Whether you're chasing paper, zoning out, or grinding in silence, Quanboy EP is here to set the tone. Welcome to the next chapter. Welcome to Quanboy.
Crazy talented, man. Crazy talented. Y'all, shout out to DQ again, man. Check out his stuff, man. He's got an EP out there, man. I've already bought it, so I paid what I think I paid about $20 extra than what the actual price is, just out of support for my brother. man. But go ahead, check that out, man. That album right there actually's got at least a good 8 songs on it that I already am familiar with that I like, right? Like cold, like man, super duper cold, bro. So anyway, let's get back to it, man. Moving right along. So
that's how we start that pseudo killers, though, yo. Just being based off of those who just don't actually believe, yo, or don't know one way or the
it was
goddamn other.
necessary, right? That at the time, especially
Necessary
with the
group.
climate, and you got all the crazies at Sinetta and all of that stuff. That was a good thing. I think that you moved the community little by little into a very good space, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
me personally, I'm not doing it because I want credit, right? But I think that I want to have at least a fingerprint in the community moving in the right direction. Moving in a direct, and what I mean by right direction, moving away from having these conversations in an unhealthy way. I think it's unhealthy for an Egyptomaniac and an FBA guy to sit there and have a conversation about what do we do? How do we move forward? Because
Yeah.
nothing in their paradigm really gives them the tools to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing in there. You're both and I guess I just gotta say it like this: like y'all both pretending to be something anyway, right? You're not really standing on nothing tangible. So when it comes to like real issues and real world problems, like you're really used to running away from them. Like you have a real world escape that you use. It's almost the exact opposite. So and that's really why I thought it was so interesting the way you answered that question, because you actually said that you can't remove Africa from activism. Because that's what I think Smash is having problems with, right? Now
That you can or you can.
You said that you can't.
Yeah, you how? Because you get active when you start to realize that you come from Africa, yo. That's the
Active to
first.
do what?
I don't know, nigga. Shit, you fighting? I mean, we in a very, very serious. Let me take a time out the facts of personality. He's still on that shit, right? It's funny to me, right? And that make me say, big up the brass for the Cash App, though. Appreciate you, brass. Stop hating over that facts over person. You hate over there. Get a job. I don't got a job. I got a business, B. Yeah, although the last 3-4 years I have been working a job though in the field that I deal with. Okay, I always have my things on the side. Right? But there was something my mother asked me to do, and I took care of that. Right? So I'm back to the full swing. You know what I mean? But I spent put it this way, Liza. I spent more time with my own business than I did on somebody else's thing, yo. Simple as that. As a youngster, yo, I may have worked one summer, maybe 2, right? I always sold some weed then, right? And so then had barbershops, sub shops, feel me? Janitorial companies, you feel me? So, I say this that when my mother got me out of the hood, and by the time I was 13, we had moved to a Jewish community, and my first real conversation around business was with a Jewish person that owned a breakfast spot, and he said, "Yo." Explain it to us. He said, "Yo, always write the checks, yo. Don't let somebody write you a check. Be the one to be in control of the money, yo." And his son played on our football team, which we won the championship with. Ben, what's up, Ben? And you know what I'm saying? So, we always used to go to Pinky's restaurant, yo, and deal with with business. So it was a Jewish person that really had great conversations around business, with us. Right. And we took that. And as we did, yo, we always had enough sense to have some type of businesses around us, yo. So, I applaud the entrepreneurs and the people that start businesses. I applaud them. And I also applaud people who work jobs, yo. Having a business and getting rich, you know what I mean? There's more than one way to get rich in America. You can get rich through a business, right? You can get rich through working a job. It is what it is. It's whatever we choose to do. Everybody can't have a business, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, bro. And we're gonna be at that Malcolm X festival too.
Huh?
We're gonna be at that Malcolm X festival next month. I believe it's on the 20th in Atlanta. Yo, we're gonna be selling them shoes. We're selling them. That's what we're gonna be doing, getting that money. And my son gonna be there. You know what I mean? I'm making him. I want him to know what it feel like to get some money. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah! What you going up there with Reggie?
Huh?
I say, what you going up there with Reggie?
It's in Atlanta.
Oh, it's in Atlanta. That's. I thought that was the thing that Reggie do every year. But anyway,
no, that's Malcolm X. But go ahead, get to the point. You trying to get to the point? You asked the question about can't remove Africa from the activism.
Yeah, that's what the people came for, man. I've been hyping it up all week, and my mind is blown. Every time I try to think about how you gonna do it, I have no idea. I talk to you all the time, and I have no idea how you gonna put this together. So what are you thinking when you say that? Because, let me tell you what I'm thinking.
I told you what it meant to get active. To get active, right? And the community is to go past the inferiority complex about never having a history, bro. Point blank. Because a slave is a person that has been erased from their past. That's why you're a slave. Through physical labor and mental struggle, bro. Mentally, they erase you. They change your name. Your name is a snapshot into your history. Yo. So if you change your name, right, they had a meaning that tied you to geography and geography and social structures, and you took that away from me. Now you give me a name that's tied to your social structure. That ties into the plantation. I mean, that's what it is. Your name is Bobby. My name is Bobby West, right? I can go back to the Wesses and the Jones, right? I can go all the way back to the daggone plantation, where the Jones plantation. I did my history. So my name ties me back to the plantation. I ain't tripping. See, now I ain't tripping, right? Because I ain't tripping. But that's why people change their names, yo, because they want to tie themselves to a history. You say, why they tie back to Egypt? Because it's a classical civilization, bro. And see, that's what your drunk whatchamacallit couldn't get right. He dogged out Aztec. But Aztec is the classical, the classical, it was association. What is the Association of Classical African Civilization, bro? Which does not include West Africa.
Yes, I do understand West Africa is not a classical African civilization.
That's why they wouldn't talk about West Africa. But they do. But it's not you got to know but the man don't even know what a classical civilization is. Greece, Rome, Egypt, they're considered classical civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're drunk, though, yo, you think you're cracking a good joke. Wow, that time in West Africa, because they do. I know I started a whole group called the Masi, study of West Africa.
Right. So, you know what? My problem with Aztec wouldn't be anything nearly what he's saying, right? My problem with the Aztec is that they still are using stuff like calling the ancient Egyptians their elders, right? They still are saying that they are black people, right? They still with we're basically trying
with the shit.
That's what I'm trying not to say. They're still with the old shit. That's what it really is, right?
Not all of them.
With that. Not all of them, but enough of them.
You right? Yeah, you right. I mean, but
that's my problem with them.
Yeah, no.
Talk about whatever part of Africa they want to.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, but okay. So as African Americans, man, we just have a problem. And it's part of our struggle, though, bro. Our struggle was to get back to our history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we run into the continent of Africa, yo, we see a bunch of white people calling the Egyptians white, yo. That gets you hot.
Yeah, we still swinging at that.
Got you hot. You be like, yo, really, yo? You be like, come on, yo.
Swinging at that.
I'm gonna tell you why I was hot. I was like, huh? How? Right? Like they ain't white people. So you saying they ain't white people, yo, they black people. Okay, so listen, that's a non-scholarly answer on what I know my reaction was when I transitioned from the Bible, right? When you read the Bible, listen, yo, you get it honest, yo, right? And I'm staying to your question. I ain't gonna do you long like My man Small said I ain't gonna do it, yo. I'm gonna make. I swear, I'm just gonna say it, yo. When you read the Bible, somebody pull your coattail and say, yo, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? And the Bible say Shem is the Semitic people, Japheth is the white people, and Ham, the word Ham means burnt black. Ham is the black people, yo, the Africans. And the Egyptians come out of the line of Ham. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a biblical perspective, dog. This is what I'm saying. To say the Egyptians is black is really a biblical perspective. They don't say the word black, but they say Ham. And then Ham, if you read the Bible, that Ham went into Africa and populated Africa. You get it? So Ham is the ones that with the in the line of Ham is who? Cush, right?
Yeah.
Egyptians.
Who
was the mighty hunter? And the mighty hunter, Nimrod.
Okay.
They was the mighty builders in the Bible. So the Hamites was the mighty builders. They built mighty civilizations. You get that, right? All right. So okay. Shit, we Ham.
Right.
That's our first.
You want to be a part of your it is a part of African greatness now. There's no doubt about.
But it's tied to God, though. Hold on, I'm at the point where it's tied to God, though. It's tied to God.
You confused me,
nigga. Because Noah is a Hebrew story.
Okay.
And Noah go back to Abraham. They go back to God, bro. So we still in the God mind. I'm trying to tell you, yo. We still, although we saying we ain't Christians, we ain't this. But we gonna read the Bible and it say the Egyptians come from the line of Ham and Cush and all the mighty hunters. Mighty hunter Nimrod is a mighty hunter, yo, and the great builders, yo, and they built the Tower of Babel, yo. That's the Hamites. They built the Tower of Babel so damn high that God was like, hold on. So they won't build a tower up to me, yo. I'm gonna confound their tongues, and then the tongues get confounded. So I'm just telling you how we used to do it, bro. How we got here. I'm trying to show you, yo. You won't find an elder amongst us, yo, that don't say that the Bible say that the Egyptians are African or black, bro. Because black Ham burnt black, right? That's where we got to start from. And this is the group that was fighting against our ignorance of our history, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm trying to give you the mindset. Right? It's a mindset there. All right, but go ahead, though. I just want to let you, because you say, why is it tied down? Why is Africa tied down struggle?
Understanding the stage, right? And there's really 2 different stages, right? You got Diop, right, who is attempting to reclaim African greatness, right? On Egypt's on the African continent. And then you got African Americans attempting to find their greatness the same way, right? So it becomes like this is where I feel like what I'm saying is so necessary, because it becomes that weight that you always talk about. Now you are definitely the first person I heard say that you can't let it become a weight.
Yeah, it's a weight, yo.
Yeah, you can. It's healthy to incorporate. Me personally, I feel like there's a lot less there to reconstruct, to call it reconstructing, but that's me, right? I'm not necessarily one of those people that feel like my African affinity is a big part of my identity. I think it's a part of my genetic makeup, but as far as like culturally or like my personal identity, I don't think that what I do is very African at all. But that's me personally. So the reason why I thought this was a good conversation to bring live, first off, I wanted to hear how you was going to put it together. But secondly, I feel like I feel like that's what they feel, that, people like Smash, he think he doing activism. His audience certainly thinks he's doing activism.
He is. Right? He is.
His audience certainly thinks that he is making the Egyptian culture black for the betterment of African Americans, right? And Reggie, he got his interesting way of breaking it down about how this is some kind of moral character, this blackness that they're talking about. So anyway, so what I'm saying is that I would say that you got to disregard that, right? You got to take that and put it and compartmentalize it somewhere else. I would say that in terms of resilience, that it does play a role in, giving you a layer of protection against maybe some social pressures, right? It might make you fall down and get back up a couple more times, and you might without it. For each person is different, but I think that it's safe to say all people would get they would get some resilience out of that kind of information. But as far as it providing you answers for your actual issues, that's where I think people get it wrong. And for whatever reason, people can't separate it. Well, not for whatever reason. They can't separate it because of how it was introduced to us here on YouTube. They really can't get that out of their rhetoric. They can't get that out of their paradigm. So them trying to move forward in that same paradigm, right? You want to be respectful to the people who you deem as influential, or I'm not sure what the word is when you're talking about people like Dr. Clark and all them. Yeah, they play a role. Don't get me wrong. And it's delicate on how you talk about it, because you don't want to discard them or everything that they did, but you do have to separate. You can't get too close to that stuff, or your ability to be prudent about problem solving is significantly, destroyed.
But I thought you understood science and how humans. So it's steps, right?
Okay.
All right. To understanding anything, yo. We had some of the most educated people thought it was 20 races, bro. Went all the way down to 5 races. Still was wrong. With all that education, all that studying, starting new fields, the whole 9 yards, right? So smashing them, Reggie them, they all doing activism. That's what activism looked like in 1950, yo.
Yes, yep.
It's 2025. And this is what activism looked like when we talk about the stars, space age Africans, space age Anthony, right? Miss Tiff, Juju. You feel me? That's 2025 activism, when you're giving people scientific literacy, when you got STEM camps, conscious ingenuity. You feel me? When you putting on good programming like y'all brothers doing. Yo, we activism. Yo, we active in our communities, bro. This what it look like in 2025, yo, when we can look in your face and say the Egyptians not black. The people there in Egypt are more closely related, right, to the ancient population anywhere in the world. That Africa got 38 countries, bro. And none of them got to call themselves black, because they existed in an environment pre-colonialism, and they got their own agency. We can look at anthropology now and say that some African groups didn't have a god. They might have venerated ancestors. That's 2025. Well, we can say I'm black and I'm proud. And as an African Americans, that's our calling card, yo, because it's what helped us bring us from the 50s to the 60s. In the 50s, you had the white Jesus on the daggone churches. By the time you get to the 60s, right, we had black Jesus in our household. That's a transition. Now we can say Jesus ain't black. He's a hero in folklore and Jewish mythology, and ain't got nothing to do with us. Yo, that's activism, dog. That I love West Africa. I love Central Africa. I love South Africa. You know what I'm saying? I love Northeast Africa. I love studying about Eritrea, Ethiopia, which is the second oldest Christian nation, and explain that to people, King Azana and them, and talk about Prometheus, okay? That came, you know what I'm saying, and supposedly got shipwrecked and brought Christianity. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta act like they the first Christian. I don't gotta do that. I don't gotta act like the first Christians was that the Hebrews, Africans. For what? Because now I'm not suffering from inferiority complex. I'm not suffering from being inferior, bro. I'm saying, yo, I can do what you can do. What you mean, yo, Neil deGrasse Tyson? What you talking about? What you talking about? You know, I can talk about that talk. Who helped bring forth that vaccine? I can't remember the sister's name. African American. Come on, dog. Like, I'm saying we don't got to look at ourselves as being inferior. You know, the white man not the devil, yo. He put his pants on like we do, bro. Yeah, the politics, y'all like to vote. I can vote and not you make me look bad. I can be an atheist without you frowning your face. It's 2025. I'm active around here, bro. We want to understand the world through the lenses of the level, bro. And we still want to bring out African American flavor. And yes, Egypt is still an Egyptian country. I mean, an African country. And yes, the ancient Egyptians were indigenous African with all the mixing. Whatever mixing the carrot happened in the continent of Africa. It was an African culture. And no, it don't mean the black people or the black community. That didn't give rise to their religion. It's that river, that black soil that gave rise to their culture and their religion. See, I can say that. See, we active, bro. See, we got them. They can't do nothing with us. So yes, they are trying to be activists. But yo, come on, Doug. I come out of the vein of Hubert Harrison and them, yo. John Jackson and them, bro. Dr. Ben and them, yo. Yo, they get their hands on some scientific information, yo. They're going to change their position, yo. But you want to judge them as if they had what I got. They ain't had what I had. They don't got what I got. They ain't talking to Samantha Cater. Come on, dog. So, yes, in their mind, yo, yeah, I get it, bro. The people that's sitting over there watching that shit, yo, man, they feel good for a minute, bro. They think that everybody should call themselves black.
But you know that's really not good though, right? And I don't have no better way to say this.
That's why we hear Logic.
I don't have no better way to say this, but like I'm struggling with. I do respect
Mac Rob. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Mac Rob? I remember Mac Rob got to come around some more, man. I like
Always
hearing him
around.
talk about stuff. Mac Rob is good. That's good people's right there.
Yo, he's a.
Well, maybe he don't be on our channel.
Frontline working in the middle of the pandemic, yo, teaching vaccines, helping the black community, helping the human community. Yo, pleasure to have a brother on the pseudo killers. He's a pseudo killer official, bro.
Yeah, that's good people's right there. But this is I'm struggling with. I do respect people who made real life sacrifices for what they believed in. That shakes me right. That shakes me. Like to that level of dedication, I can't do nothing but respect it. I just can't, right? And anybody who don't, they the biggest of cowards to me. So what I'm saying is like, but I see 2025, that is beyond a wait for too many people, right? That get exposed to it. I don't know how to like carry the conversation on to where I can make it very clear that yes, they played a major role at one point. Yes, I do respect them, but today we need to get as far away from that as possible. And here's why.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Here is why, right? Because if you start asking the questions, I believe you're asking the right questions.
Yeah.
You get to a point where it becomes obvious. Now, let me give you one, right? If we're talking about, let's say we're talking about that culture, that historical continuity being put back together to provide us with something, right? I proposed, that's something that it provides us with is resilience. So let's talk about resilience. We might not even need to talk about history to get resilience.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't do that.
So what I'm saying is, well, what
name,
else?
Name one affluent community that doesn't understand their history. Name one, yo. That doesn't promote it to their kids. Just name one. I'm waiting.
African Americans.
They're what?
We don't have a strong grasp of our history.
We do. That's a lie, yo. Just the conscious community don't. The pseudos don't, but we do.
Oh, so what? To what degree are you talking about? We do.
Man, we got historians that really know what it is.
Everybody
just talk shit about them, like Chief X said. I agree with what nigga. You don't got the tools to disagree with Cater. I disagree with how?
The average African American, right, is certainly not a history buff.
The average European is not in America is not a history buff.
Okay, so
But I'm saying no. Let me say this right. I'm saying we can access authentic African American history. That's what I'm saying. From people that look just like us. I talk to them every day on the phone. That's
I
my
see we
point.
have access to it. I'm just talking about, are
Yeah,
they walking
in
around with that in
universities.
their head?
No, in universities.
Is that what they walking around within their head?
Depending on who you're talking about. If you're talking about the people that like the crystals,
Are we
they
talking
get
about the
Blue Pill
majority of
niggas got
African Americans?
4.2 million views. Yo, talking about crystals and crystals and goddamn chakras, yo. We talking about shit to liberate people for real, like getting them into college, getting an education. If you don't want to college, you still got to get education, right? To get better paying jobs for yourself, right? You understanding high level medical science, just in case the government put somebody in charge of your health as a fool, you can ignore that shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language,
No,
right?
you
So
good.
I'm saying, yo, we
good.
there, bro. I'm just making a point.
We didn't spread it out enough for it to be respectful, at least compared to yesterday. So I think we doing good with the cuss word. No, but look, I stuck my neck out there, and if it can be chopped off, chop it off. But follow me for a quick second. So let's say if we're talking about revenge, right?
What?
Let's say we're talking about let's say that they're doing smashing them or doing what they're doing for vengeance of some kind, right? To get back at it.
Yeah, but we won though.
Can we just isolate their vengeance and talk about if this is what you consider vengeance? Could there possibly be some better methods? Same thing with resilience, right? Is there things that we can do that also
Looking
can
to the
give us
wrong
some
place,
resilience?
Logic.
Are there
Logic,
if let's say if they're doing it for self-worth, for self-value, are there other ways that we can approach gaining self-worth and self-value? Because when I see that if you need Africa for those things, I think that whatever that little bit of self-worth is that you're getting from that is far more fragile than the kind that you would get from accomplishing life goals, right? And to me, that's the healthiest way about approaching that whole conversation. See, and that's where I think a lot of people are getting what I be saying kind of wrong, right? I'm not saying it does not give you anything. But let's talk about the thing that you're claiming that it gives you.
So you ain't go to school, Logic.
You say what now?
You ain't go to school?
Of course I went to school.
Oh, what was in your history book?
They taught. I remember Louisiana history most specifically, and then I remember taking world history a little bit later in high school. I got
social studies. Social studies.
Yeah, social studies.
Did they talk about American history, how they started America and all that? Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, they talked about that. Absolutely.
How they formed their thing and how the different things and all that. The British are coming, the Tea Party and all that. That was American history. Yo, they don't. So if they teach it, why we can't teach it?
I'm saying we can teach it. There's nothing wrong with us teaching it.
I know. So that's my point I'm making. I'm saying you just got to know who the ignorant people is and don't listen to them.
No, let me. I'm
saying there's value to that.
No, there is value
to
it. Because
we went to school. Okay, so I'm saying we went to school and we learned American history. It must have been a value. It's a value. It's in their books. It's important. The problem is that we forgot that it ain't their job. Just like the Jewish people have not, they know that it ain't their job to teach about the Holocaust. The Jewish people know it's the Jewish people's job to teach about the Holocaust, to build memorials, right? That's our problem, bro. We got money. We can build memorials, right? We got the African American Museum. You should never let the president say he's going to take slavery out of the African American Museum. You should tear this motherfucker down when he said that. Think about that, bro. You're not going nowhere near that museum, right? We give enough money to pseudos, bro. We don't need none of your help, right? Every black family in America can give a goddamn $1 a month, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, yo. That's real. That's real right there, bro. That's important to understand the slave trade. What are you talking about?
It's definitely important to understand the slave trade.
That's important, yo. It's essential. It's essential in being cultured.
15 reasons I could think of. That's why that's important.
I'm just saying for having a grasp of the world, bro. That's what we limited at. We don't see the world. We see bits and pieces of it. We don't understand the world and how we fit into the world. So this is why we keep teaching this. It's the bad misinformation. It's the comment that Chef and L making right there to get me hot and mad.
No. In no way am I saying we should stop teaching Black history.
I know you're not saying
in no way am I saying that.
You mean bad Black history is the real point. That doesn't have. I would agree with you. Wild pseudo history or African
The bad
American
Black history automatically has to go. What I'm
Yeah,
trying to like shift. I'm shifting into what role are we expecting this history to play moving forward? Being prudent, thinking about tomorrow. What does me having this better grasp on my history, how does that help my tomorrow?
It does. It's just a piece of being a human being. Just one piece, bro. It's not that's another thing we do.
I gave history more value than you did. I said it at least gives you resilience. You said it was nothing.
No, I'm saying that it's a part of what makes us whole as humans.
Okay. I totally agree.
Yeah,
totally agree.
It's like in African American community, we put religion here and put science here. That's crazy. Right? We gotta be a little more closer. Our leadership gotta be there. See, you know what I'm saying? Like our leadership can't put the religion here, yo. The religion can't never be here. If nothing else, it's gotta at least be equal, yo. And the when you got leadership, dog, you gotta have leadership, yo, that's right here, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't have leadership that's all the way and look down on science, yo. You're gonna have us in a world of trouble, yo. You gotta balance it up. That's how it used to be in the United States. In the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you would have to be a scientifically literate person. Remember, in the 60s, they was in the space race. So politicians had you be scientifically literate or they couldn't even get elected, bro. It's not like that now. Now you got a president backing people, backing ideas of dreams and the vaccine. And this is the craziest thing ever, yo. That's not what America was made of, yo. It's their forefathers, right? When they wrote the documents, okay? Like science was part of it, bro. That's why they did what? They did the greatest thing. They separated church from state, bro. That's the difference right there, bro. That's what I came to do for the community. I want to separate church from state. I want to separate religious ideology from what we know to be science and understanding. That's what I want to do, Logic.
Okay.
And for that, they throw bananas at me, bro. For that, they look at us like we crazy, yo. For that, they make a person like you, Superman, say, that shit's trash. You're right. Yeah, if they teaching this, all the shit you saying, you're right. There's no space for that. That
no use at all for it.
It does the exact opposite.
That's what I'm saying.
It actually aids in the bed colonialism at levels, at super high levels.
Super high levels.
So if you're talking about the Egyptians as black, you done fell right into their hands. Because that ain't what the Egyptians ever said. That ain't what they ever thought about. As long as you can think that way, you inferior. Look, man, let me tell you what a wise old man told me. He say, you have to be willing to relinquish racial ideas that was put together by colonial powers. You got to be ready to get rid of that. He say, and then if you can get rid of that, right, on either side, either way you call it, right, if you can get rid of that, then once you get rid of that, you're going to get confused. He say, then after your confusion, you have to study out of that confusion, and then you're going to get it. See, Logic, we think this easy. Yo, this conversation ain't easy, bro. Race relations in America is very complex. Race and identity is very complex, yo. This is not an easy conversation.
It's not.
This is $100 million conversation. They spend money to understand that, yo. Biology. There's scientific theories behind this, bro. Like, this ain't no easy. We can just jump in here and know and distinguish. No, you're looking at the people in the Adamese Island with peppercorn hair, whatever kind of hair they got, real curly hair, with dark skin. You saying, man, that's an indigenous Africans. I'm saying, nah, they closely related to people in Asia. They don't even look like them. How? Mm-hmm. It's counterintuitive.
Yeah, well, we need to make these bad mistakes, right? Just to get the feel goodery is That's what it be tripping off of, man. But you
The
get what
real
I'm saying.
story make you feel better, though. I'm saying a real accurate history. You know that our ancestors come from West and Central Africa. That's a beautiful thing, yo.
It is a beautiful thing. I think history isn't like picky and choosy.
No.
It's mean to everybody when it is, right? And it's got its beautiful parts to it too. But the majority of human history, we know it ain't the best. That's just humans in a nutshell. We are work in progress.
All of us.
All of us,
And
socially,
Europeans was
all of that.
crazy. They
Yeah.
was gone. Yo, remember, yo, people with the best educations in the world, yo, didn't know that we wasn't Negroes. they looked at the continent of Africa and say, hey, man, there's a population right here. See, we doing the same thing now. It's a population right here that don't look like them. They in Negro land right there. Them darker ones, they definitely Negro land. Them right there, they from the Caucasus. They did that, yo. Morton and them did it. Yo, they got the best educations, bro. They looked at their people, did the eyeball test, and swore it was 5 races, yo. And they split Africa up and divided sub-Saharan Africa, and they put the people that didn't look like me and you. Oh, they different. They migrated in. Dude, that's why Egypt was actually the birthplace of scientific racism, yo, because they sent the skulls to Morton and them. And they was looking at the skulls, they were confused. People don't even know that in Diop's work, right here, this man said it was white people, right, that was in Egypt during a pre-dynastic times, yo. It's right here, yo. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People don't know them. They won't read. They won't talk about that part. When even Diop said, yo, that although the continent we had original Negroes, when in pre-dynastic times, you know what I'm saying, there was some different people there that helped form Egypt. He said that. Now y'all go find it. My man made me find like, oh my. Oh my.
So you see that? You heard that, James?
Yeah, James never read this.
No, I'm saying I seen him in the chat. There's a book out there with Sheikh Anta Diop talking about that there was another group of people came in and formed pre-dynastic Egypt, not indigenous.
No,
Africans.
Came in with the indigenous people.
Came in with the indigenous Africans.
Yeah, they in Egypt.
Okay, but they were but they formed that original population. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, they came in, and so they always knew it because they're looking at the skulls and the scientific racism, and that's why I be mad at people talking about the Cairo Symposium, because they never was going to accept something that wasn't scientifically sound, because it was a scientific conference, and UNESCO had made the first statements on race, bro. So they never was going to let you get that off. Right. Negroes, the black. No, they never was going to, because that's going against evolution. And they made the first statements on. I remember Chef couldn't understand that, yo. I remember I argued about that, yo. I said, yo, it was a scientific conference, yo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's back when Chief X was kind of
He had him on their side. He had him on their side.
Chief X was he was kind of spokesperson for a little bit and made it. He
made
their argument sound a lot more Mediterranean than what it was. It actually took me a long time to hear what Chef was saying in that particular argument, because what he was saying was that he was saying the word Mediterranean to kind of be trolling, right? I think he really understood the conversation the whole time, but he was holding your feet to the fire to make you have to admit that there was a Mediterranean genetic component there, right? Which winds up just being those that Asiatic group that's not Asiatic group, but like the people in that little area that are coming in and out. That little that corridor, right? That corridor is open. There are people coming in and out from that that Western Asian population. So I think that's all.
So how long you gotta live in there? If you there for 50,000, 90,000 years,
they were there for 30,000 years. So
how long? 30,000. Think about, yo.
That's a great question, dog.
Think about that, yo. We only been in America 300 years, so they been at 35,000. How long you got?
Yeah, you killed them with that one.
Something we don't understand here, bro.
You definitely killed them with that one.
We need an expert to explain that.
Yeah, right. That's too simple for you. How long they gotta live there before they?
How long do you got to be in Africa to be an African?
Remember,
I remember people saying, "Yo," I remember people saying, I remember people saying, Mediterranean people came in and indigenous people just moved out the way, and they settled in this area all by themselves. Nobody ever told us that maybe those Hubble groups that we think is Mediterranean is really indigenous African Hubble groups. Anybody ever think about that? See,
they never said it like that, right?
Yeah, my man brought a paper, talked about certain things. Man, look, come on, bro. And then what about the line? What about the geography, the geographical line that you call Africa? They didn't know they was in Africa.
Right.
They didn't know that. So now if you stick your foot over this line, then you're Asiatic. You keep your foot in this line, then you, come on, bro. Like, you think it's that easy to do that, to say that? Come on, man. I tell you what, though, right? You chat GPT this. That the Egyptians are a Northeast African population. Not a goddamn West African population. Not a Central African population. Not a damn South African population. All right?
No, we talking about 3,000 miles of walking. That's just, it's a little, I mean, not impossible. Don't get me wrong. But that's going to take a while. That's going to take a while. And you're going to need something to eat. You're going to stop and get some water. You know, somebody going to, you know, get bit by a snake or something. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some accidents along the way. You ain't just going to traverse 3,000 miles like overnight. That ain't what that is. Definitely not what that is. That's a good question, Chef. I'm going to ask him when he gets back. But you know,
all right, you say, so what do you think? Diop said it was a homogenous Negro population.
The reason why you're asking that is because you showed a book where you kind of said Diop said that there was white people.
Because he messed up.
Okay.
He was like everybody, yo. That's my
early
point.
Work. You saying that's his early work?
Yeah. Well, no, that's what he was saying. All that, yo. This was wrong.
He put that out after UNESCO.
This was it. No, he put this out. Yeah, I think it's 1973, yo. 1974. Yep, right after UNESCO. But you know, you write shit before that.
And it might have got, I don't know.
1974, look, 1974, copyright.
Confusing.
Listen, copyright. And then, you know, they got it translated from French to English. So that's going to be some mess up there, too. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, yo, that's not the point. Diop's value was that he pushed the needle and he pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he made them concede to the point that they was indigenous Africans. Now, hold on. There was surely Europeans at the conference, because you got to read it, that was saying they was indigenous Africans too.
Let me
it ain't like he was the first person to say that. But what he did was they were and guess why I understand them to be valuable now? Because every expert I talked about, yo, they have to study the works of Diop. So that's crazy, ain't it? They bring Diop to me first. You know, I could go get the video right now and play it when they talk about with Diop's in them. Yes, we understand what they were saying. Yeah, but he was wrong right here. Did a good job right there. Like we supposed to do. See, we do them an injustice. We do Dr. Bennett injustice. We do Diop's injustice. We do all of them injustice, yo. When we take their outdated work right and continue to promote it, and not just say like the experts say, no, they did a good job right there. They was wrong right there. That's it. You carry the stuff they got forward, right? Right? We stand on that. If there's more information added to it, we can correct it, then we do that and keep moving. The experts amongst us will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not the YouTube. Right? I'm an advocate. I'm a science advocate. I'm a science advocate. I advocate a scientific approach to understanding our history, bro. For understanding the world we live in. I'm a science advocate. You can look me up, put in that. See, if I wanted to get greasy, I could put Chief X name in ChatGPT. Let it run. I can put Smash Rockwell name in ChatGPT and let it run. I can put my name in it and let it run. See, every conversation we have, yo, that computer, yo, is registering, bro. Everything you do online is gaining more information about you, bro. You can't hide from that.
Mm-hmm.
See, Chief X taught that craziness, yo, but he won't read what ChatGPT got to say about him, though.
Uh-oh. Am I gonna have to share my screen?
You
Let
might
me get
sound like
this commercial off.
Yeah, because what
Shout out to
time? I
Chief
got to
X,
break
man.
up.
I ain't got nothing against you, man. It really ain't. It ain't no
I got a
animosity.
lot against you, Chief X.
Yeah,
Don't
I
let them
don't.
trick you.
I don't even know you like
They
that.
don't,
You know what I'm saying?
and
So
I don't know you neither. Yo, what I do know about you is you need to go to Alcoholic Anonymous. You know, if you want to call and talk about being sober, brother, I don't mind. You know, directing you some of the resources to stop drinking. You should not be drunk at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, man. Anybody drunk at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you have a problem. If you're not in a wedding, if you're at a wedding and partying, I get it, but just to be on YouTube and drunk, so you can get some courage to get on the show, you have a problem, brother. And I'm saying I just want to help you out. I know we suffer from drugs and alcohol in our communities, brother. And I don't want to see you that way, bro. I don't. So
stay right there, because I'm gonna actually use that to segue into my next topic.
Yeah.
I tried to get these niggas game, but niggas too lame, they switching the code. I fuck with some niggas that bang, that wasn't my thing, but they still my bros. My niggas know if it go down, I'm right in town and ready to go. I stay with that 9 on my side, not ready to die, so that bitch don't blow. I tried to get these niggas game, but niggas too lame, they switching the code. I fuck with some niggas that bang, that wasn't my thing, but they still my bros. My niggas know if it go down, I'm right in town and ready to go. I stay with that 9 on my side, not ready to die, so that bitch don't blow.
Out the tomb like Tutankhamun, off the top going noodles like a bowl of ramen. The watch that I got, it control the climate, cause the room get cool when I clean the diamonds. Black peacoat with the purple lining. When the weather change, boy, I know the assignment. Me and Eli put 3 hoes a day, nigga. It's safe to say that the stars is aligning. Like the Cowboys, the best of linemen. The mind state that I'm in is hell can times 10. Hyperbolic time chamber that I vibe in. Get some friendly fried shrimp and some freaking fried friends. Me to buy 8, I'ma fuck her buy 10. And she show some ID before I even slide in. Say she like girls, I'ma make her find friends. And it ain't a verse, it's a Bible scripture, amen.
I tried to get these niggas game, but niggas too lame, they switching the code. I fuck with some niggas that bang, that wasn't my thing, but they still my bros. My niggas know if it go down, I'm right in town and ready to go. I stay with that 9 on my side, not ready to die, so that bitch don't blow. I tried to get these niggas game, but niggas too lame, they switching the code. I fuck with some niggas that bang, that wasn't my thing, but they still my bros. My niggas know if it go down, I'm right in town and ready to go. I stay with that 9 on my side, not ready to die, so that bitch don't blow. My niggas call them never missing action, smoking back to back, forget to even pass it. I done jumped inside that water, now these times it's getting harder, and it turned me to a savage. They probably hate when they see me, cause I'ma always keep it street and I'ma probably pull a bad bitch. Pull up like Godfather, I ain't doing no talk, could probably never catch me lacking. This shit can get dangerous, shit can get dangerous, shit can get dangerous. You gon' jump in that water, it's gon' get harder, it's gon' get dangerous. Dear Heavenly Father, make them think smarter, I'ma get dangerous. Better know just how far, cause I'ma go far, and it ain't no taming us. I tried to get these niggas game, but niggas too lame, they switching the code. I fuck with some niggas that bang, that wasn't my thing, but they still my bros. My niggas know if it go down, I'm right in town and ready to go. I stay with that 9 on my side, not ready to die, so that bitch gon' blow. I tried to get these niggas game, but niggas too lame, they switching the code. I fuck with some niggas that bang, that wasn't my thing, but they still my bros. My niggas know if it go down, I'm right in town and ready to go. I stay with that 9 on my side, not ready to die, so that bitch gon' blow.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? We back, man. We back. Can you hear me, Unc?
I can hear you. Hold on, go ahead.
No, you good, you good. Chef look like he chomping at the bit up there, man. You done mentioned Dr. Ben one too many times for him, man. But so look, I wanted to mention it, right? Because I'm not gonna get into that, right? That I don't even want to get into in between whatever y'all got going on. Pause. But
in between who? What Chef say? What?
No, I'm talking about. You were saying like You were saying shit about what Chief X need to do. Now that's not the part of it I'm trying to speak on.
No,
Right?
because that's the truth, though. You
Let's
ain't
say,
let a man suffer off of no damn drugs, yo, and not step in and
no,
come on, yo, I wouldn't
I
do
get
what I
what you're
was,
saying,
yo, and
right?
I
So
ain't
like,
even being funny.
let's say if we can identify that there is a problem of self-value in our community,
It
Black community
is
in America,
inferior. We have an
right?
inferiority complex.
And how I think that it's a fair question to ask what are the best ways to go about that. And then, so like if someone were to say, hey, our history
Hmm?
is that gap that we are trying to fill to
Hmm?
get that self-worth, right? I
Yeah.
think it's still fair to be able to come behind that and say, are there other ways that we could be overlooking that also help us cultivate our self-worth? And that's like the very basic way of saying everything I'd be trying to say. I'm not necessarily trying to kill the conscious
No,
community.
no, you
I'm not
correct.
necessarily trying to kill the elders or their rhetoric, but we have to at some point in time evaluate exactly what it is we are doing it for, right? If and you hear this term come up, and that's why I'm using it, right? They do it to feel good, right? If that's why they're doing it, it should be a fair question. I mean, are there some other
No,
things that
no,
we
you're
could be
right.
doing
No,
to
you're
fill
right.
that void of feeling good?
No,
Maybe even some
like some
healthier things.
successes. You know, hold on. Let me tell you. Let me say this.
I know that sounded crazy as hell, right? But you
No,
know what I
no,
mean. You know
no,
what I mean.
no, no, no. I'm saying is, yo, this overemphasizing of history, right? Actually denies the actual victories, right? That would make us feel good if we just know what we're looking at. Simple as that. So it's obviously not the history. The history is the thing that you've done. What about the history of great Black leaders of forcing the United States government to at least pay attention to their rules and like regulations that they themselves had made up, yo? We held them to the standard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we had an argument, me and Chef, over Dr. Ben and the civil rights Thurgood Marshall. Remember
Bad
that?
dude.
It's a bad dude.
And we
Bad
don't
light
mention
skin.
him enough.
Look, bad light skin dude.
There you go. There you go. That's why he got his degree? Boy. No, we was just
No, hold
looking
on.
up Martin
Don't it
Delaney.
sound
He
wild?
darker than everybody. He
Yeah,
went to
Mark
school.
Delaney was serious, dude. But don't it sound weird saying that light skinned people had a better chance of getting an education than
It
dark
does.
skinned people?
It does. It
That's
definitely does.
weird, yo. But that's
Social
really
climate has come a long way,
but
bro.
to leave that out, yo, is
Mhm.
crazy. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
leave
a
it
part of
out.
the
That mean
game.
you don't know your history. You
It's a
tripping?
part of the game.
Yeah,
I'm
Thurgood Marshall looked very,
I'm
very
not
white.
gonna overemphasize that, but yes, it was a part of the game.
No,
Yep.
it's overemphasize it. Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
game? Come on, yo. How come everybody you name got a degree that's light skinned?
I just
Everybody
said
dark skinned.
ain't Martin Delaney before? He's before Thurgood Marshall.
I don't know what kind of degrees that he
What?
had.
But
I don't
he
know.
went to college. That's the point, is he went to college.
And then you got my man who's dark skinned. Come on, yo. The Peanuts. He went to Harvard, yo. He was serious.
Is it George Washington Carver?
George Washington Carver. He was dark skinned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I'm not saying the dark skinned people. I'm saying that the light skin thing, you really got to pass. You could pass in. You could pass. Yo, it was simpler. Dark skin, you in trouble. Then they was like, y'all slick. I'm gonna give you the one drop rule. Y'all trying to be slick.
Still secretly use that to this day.
Yeah. You got one. I don't care how you look. You got
American
one drop.
standard.
It's American standard, right? And Dusty Egyptians was black. Let me stop. That's when I knew I was in trouble, Logic.
Right.
I knew we was in trouble.
You gotta use the American standard.
I was like, them niggas is done and they lost. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they followers say. If you hanging on the whim of an expert saying the one drop rule and they all saying it, and then they do it like this: one drop rule, Annabelle South in the 40s.
Right. They gave you all the red flags, dog. So if you gonna proceed with this, Antebellum South.
According to American standards.
Antebellum South now. 1940s.
Wink, wink, look, wink, wink, wink.
Nigga.
What they don't know is
right.
what they don't know is when she said it. I was like, because we was on a commercial break. I was like, yo, that mean everybody was black. She was like, yeah, that shit was up. I'm like, oh man, y'all motherfuckers crazy.
They didn't get it, bro. Went right over their head.
Assad, Wishmacommon did it to Assad. She said the one drop rule. Then she came back and said, Assad, you trying to play the race thing? Remember that? Come on, man. All right, you know what, yo?
They had a whole committee.
Yeah,
on Sinetta TV. All of them got up there.
Guy said the experts.
All of them played that clip and killed.
We should play that clip. Play that clip and killed. The lady was like, I was like, huh? Look, what about the clip where she talks about Native Americans, where Cara Coney talks about her son asks where the Native Americans at, and she say they still are Native Americans. They might not look like them. They might share a different percentage of DNA.
Yeah,
but they still. That's how she was explaining it.
They right here. You
they
see
right here.
Nose? Yeah,
that's what she said, and she was using that as an example for the Egyptians.
Yep. They didn't go nowhere. They right here. They didn't assimilate it into the population.
What about this? But
you're right. That is that is a very difficult conversation to have. You got to have a little bit of a working knowledge in a bunch of different areas.
No, a lot. You got to have, and I realize it, and I had to, by talking to some experts for real, they was like, yo, you gotta slow down, yo. They saying like, yo, you really think people can comprehend that, yo? They say the artistry and like writing newspapers, I think they want to write in like an 8th grade level, so people can kind of understand it, right? And so what I learned over these last couple years, specifically this last good year and a half of really having honest discourse with the experts, throwing my stuff at them, boom, boom. Like a lot of times they don't even know we exist with this crazy shit, yo.
Right.
And they was like, but yo, so I went to school though. I got my associates, I got my math, I got my doctorate degree. That's why I understand you. So you expecting people who working jobs, they not nowhere in the field, and you expect them to comprehend that? They said it's so ingrained, the racial standards, right? That even scientists, when they talking sometimes, you may get confused. They say, but make no doubt about it, race is a social construct, but that doesn't mean race didn't hurt people. Make no doubt about that, right? That people lost their lives based off of the color of their skin. So people even make that mistake into thinking that because it's a social construct, that all of a sudden it wasn't a weapon, right? It wasn't a continuum of complete decimation of an African population, bro. It was. But I'm saying is, yo, we can't keep promoting that racism. That's racism. Right. To look at African indigenous people and say they black, that is racism. To look at indigenous people and say, yeah, you got a supreme God, that's racism. Like, why can't they just have an ancestor or a river? Why can't they have animism where they think everything is elevated equally?
That's where that lack of cultural understanding come in.
And that's what it is in this whole Egyptian conversation, that Smash and all them ain't actually talking about Egyptians. They talking about African Americans in the Nile Valley. Exactly. They can't see it no other way. When you say the black community, we just heard them say it, the black community. Then you even in Oakland, you even Baltimore, Maryland, but you're not in the Nile Valley saying that, yo.
Right. For what? Who you telling that to? Other brown people?
The black community. The black community.
You talking to other brown people about y'all community, the black community? That what you talking about?
Be. When you say the black community,
wait, no, that's even worse. You talking to people darker than you about y'all being the black. y'all telling the Nubians who the real black people is. That what y'all doing?
Yeah, we go to Nubia and tell them, yo, you the black man. And then, they know they get money from us. They say, yeah, brother, We over there with that American money. Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, black man.
What you say? Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, we original. Yeah. Get scammed, yo. We get scammed. That's my point, man. So, I just had to learn, yo, that this conversation ain't easy, bro. You more than them, scientific racism, like all of this, yo. Like all of this, bro. All of this. Remember I showed you Egyptica? I don't even think I got that up no more. Egyptica. Let me see. That's the royal. This the good. This the funny one, yo. This the funny one. Look, guess what this is? Look. This the good one right here, yo. Everybody gonna laugh at this. It's a good one. It's a good one. I'm gonna share the screen. Ladies and Bittermen.
For the Bittermen, that was the best times, bro. Man,
ladies and Bittermen, yo.
Man,
ladies and Bittermen.
I'm gonna blow this up. Let me put this thing on.
Ladies and Bittermen. I remember when a human being amongst us was trying to correct people like this lady right here, Akram. I can't even say her name. S. Ikram. Yo, she's a specialist. She has a doctorate degree in Egyptian mummification, yo. This guy is the lead on the damn paper. All right. And I forget what role this guy played right here. You can look at it, right? But yo, at no point was they ever saying that the Egyptians was black based off the Bittermen. This man tried to act like that was that craziest thing ever. Yo, I'm saying, is he reading it? Is it come on, yo. When you read the first part of it, it tell you what they trying to prove, yo. All right. It's the abstract, yo, tell you what they trying to prove, yo. They ain't trying to prove that they black. And then you get to and then you finish it, the conclusion of the paper, man. It's the craziest thing ever, yo. And people sat there and listened to that.
What you call them? They spellbound.
Yeah, look right here. So the number containing plutonium bitumen. That's in the Roman period. So you had more people. You had more, right? New Kingdom. You had a certain amount trying to. So you see, you don't even see it here, right? You know why? You don't see it in pre-dynastic time because yo, it was a chemical process they didn't understand. Yo, it wasn't there. As they got better with science in the New Kingdom, yo. They could use this more. But they wouldn't know that because they ain't read that and they don't know about that. It's crazy to me how they do us like this, bro. Not because there's less black people in here why they starting to paint their sarcophagus with black. He's saying the Roman period, they do it more in the Roman period here because there's less black people and the foreigners had chased out the daggone black people. Thus, they got to paint the coffin. I was like, what? Remember that, yo?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and Bittermen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was
yo.
the best time.
Yeah, that was the best time. Yo, I'm sitting there saying, why me, yo? Conclusion. You read the conclusion.
The Bittermen was the best time because everything was it was clear.
Yeah, it was clear they was crazy.
It was very clear y'all was talking about skin during the time of the Bittermen. That's why Bittermen was the best time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't try to like kind of walk back that skin argument. Both of them have. Reggie and Smash, but
Reggie double talking.
What they do,
Reggie double talking. Reggie is definitely double talking.
Yeah. He was on our channel saying it ain't the skin. And he went over on Smash channel and said it is the skin. So
yeah, he double talking, yo.
I heard him do it.
Yeah, he double talking. Yo. He don't mean no harm.
He don't. He don't. Definitely, it's all with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dangerous part, though, right?
Yeah.
It's all with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like they done psych themselves out to where they doing some good. So they, in their head, they kind of like, I know this might not be right. I know I might can't prove it, but I think I'm doing us some good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there.
Hey, freedom fighting, yo.
Yeah. Yep.
They like you ever? I said it all the time, yo. I forget that. Yo, see something. The Japanese that was still fighting after World War II was over with. They them.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah, that's them. They still shooting. The Egyptian war is over with, yo. They admit they're indigenous Africans, yo. In their museums, yo. And all that take time to get more and more museums to get behind that. But I remember, yo, they wouldn't even have that in the museums, yo.
Do you think scientific racism is over?
No. You still have people biases. Science has biases in it. That's why it's important to get more African Americans involved in science. But the scientific racism thing, that's like just that. No, that ain't
the
that
blatant
ain't flying.
scientific. They ain't doing.
Yeah,
that.
that's over. Yeah, but they still do the same. They still have that. They still have those, they biases within the lecture, man. But yeah, I gotta get out of here, yo. I gotta go, yo.
All right, bro.
We can come back. Yeah, I mean, hit it again. Add something to it. We 2.5 hours, yo.
Yeah, we was rolling good. Yeah, I'm gonna close out too, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up. I'm gonna play another one of these DQ songs. I'm gonna play my favorite one, Curly Fries. I know y'all.
You know, DQ got the best artwork, yo. The best shit on his shit, yo.
Talented,
fire,
man.
yo.
Talented, dog.
You ever went over this? You ever went in this collection, yo, and look at his album covers and shit?
I did it on accident one time. I ain't gonna lie. One time I was trying to make a show. And I just started like going through the catalog and I'm clicking on the shit. I said, God damn, that shit fire too. Damn, that one fire too. Before I knew it, I was jamming. But go ahead, big brother. We're gonna link back.
Appreciate that, man, coming through, man. I got you, man. I don't think we quite finished. You still had some more. So we extend that. We'll extend that.
We'll figure it out.
We just keep it, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna finish it. So where we stopping at? What's your question? I think you got me this one. I think
I was stopping with. I was kind of setting it up, right? I asked you about scientific racism, and I was about to ask you about Eurocentrism, right? So I was going to ask you if Eurocentrism isn't going or is going, is that fight completely over with? But we'll get back to it.
We keep Eurocentrism alive by keep saying they black. So they're gonna fight. They're gonna come back with their nonsense, right? And the yahoos who misinterpret DNA on the other side, laymen, regular people. Oh, the Egyptians was white. So both sides keep the nonsense going, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's certain language that they still use in science, right? That we should never get comfortable with and force them to change it. So we'll start the next one on Eurocentrism.
Yep. Yeah, the way I see it, man, I mean, it passed through too many hands now. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? There's too many people that got to sign off on it for you to get off something that's too damn wild, too damn biased, too damn racist. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have other countries going to spot that out way before we get a chance to see it as laymen. So.
Well, the Chinese just said that they come from China, that's it, and had to beat the scientists, had to beat them up. Try to have the Chinese come from China, that's it. I don't know. Man, I appreciate the show, yo. So we're going to pick up next episode. We're going to pick up the next episode.
Part 2 coming soon.
Yeah,
we're gonna get a time together.
Yeah, got you. As soon as you're ready to do it, I got you.
All right, bro.
Eurocentric, is that still there? But they need each other though.
Yes, that's the dichotomy, right?
Yeah, and they don't want science. They don't want science in the middle.
Yeah, and they both
science wipe them
keep
both
each
out.
other kind of going. Like it's
a weird
thing.
They do, bro. If you saying Egyptians is white, you right back at it. Egyptians black, you right back at it. I mean, everybody's ignoring science. So there's science, and there's Eurocentric, and there's the Afrocentric, some of them, and then so it's a real good. We never gonna speak in absolutes. Let's say that. With that, brother, I'm out, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the show. Appreciate community skeptics, pseudo killers. Appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate all the love from the chat, man. Appreciate all the love y'all to show me, man. And we rolling. It was a damn good show right here. So we'll pick it up on next episode, bro.
Yeah, hit that like button, hit that cash app on y'all way out, man. I appreciate y'all.
When a nigga had a brand new Cadillac and a whole bunch of hoes in it, he was smooth as ice. Smooth as ice. It was smooth as silk, baby. He was good. Yeah. So we put it up, put it down. He got to go down, he rise up. He moved from town to town, place to place, city to city. Nigga got around. Nigga got around. Oh yeah. I go to New York, I hear his name. Yeah. I go to Cleveland, I hear his name. Chicago, I put his name down. They know it.
She with the babbling, nigga known for the traveling. Like I can't dribble, I'm hitting hoes with the javelin. Put it in the middle, I'm steady roaming like Vatican. Celibacy, cannabis, pimping, I'm now establishing. Wolf out the pack, I'm
stallions to straggling. Pussy dead stock, I'm ripping hoes out the packaging. Points that I'm averaging, think Kyrie is passing them the ball. Watch me ball on niggas, it's so spectacular. They ill-advised. Stepping in no shit because I'm hella wise. Serving up this pimpin' like some curly fries. They Gus chicken gripping on some girly thighs. Fried like some pickles when I'm swinging glides. Having conversations, entertaining vibes. I peep her body language and she peeping mine. I ask if she hungry, she say what's her rhyme. I crack a smile and give her ass some curly fries. Said it's such a spectacular feeling. Real rap, no cap, I'll be macking these feelings. Shite me down, condom on, I'm attacking that kid. Rent paid, stomach full, spectacular living. Ha, said my closet is hated by people. The box fur got them hotter than plated fajitas. Parallel when I park and they paying the meter. My 2 cents that I give belong to museum.
Yeah, had a brand new Cadillac, a whole bunch of hoes in it. It was smooth as ice. Smooth as ice. It was smooth as silk, baby. It was good. Yeah, I see it put it up, put it down. If I go down, it rise up. You move from town to town, place to place, city to city. Nigga, I go to New York, I hear his name. Yeah, I go to Cleveland, I hear his name. Chicago, I hear his name now. They know it.
They ill-advised. Ain't stepping in no shit because I'm hella wise. Serving up this pimpin' like some curly fries. They Gus chicken gripping on some girly thighs. Fried like some pickles when I'm swinging glides. Having conversations, entertaining vibes. I peep her body language and she peeping mine. I ask if she hungry, she say what's her rhyme. I crack a smile and give her ass some curly fries.
Like me, I'm a crazy ass nigga, no controlling the shit. What you saying to me, no controlling the beat. Crazy to me, how you claim me to be. What you don't understand, I'm a G. What you don't understand, I'm a beast. Let me know if you can talk it like me. Swag guy with a pipe full of cash on me. That's why I always got a sag on me. Make a bitch pop a tag on me. Put the thing down, bitch, dance on me. I'm a grown man. Grown man. Grown man. Grown man. Grown man. Grown man. For a while, man, I don't even know what it feel like to be a child, man. I've been living like a wild man. Might do a show, pop everybody in the crowd, man. Like 5, 5, 5. You get it too. Tight on the 1, hit not the 2. Fucking my bitch only time I come through. If you want pounds, get him 3 for the 2. Got a whole lot of this, got a whole lot of that. These niggas, they want my spot. I'm perfect. I've been so fucked up that everything I do is purposed. Niggas out there flexing with no money, what's your purpose? I've been so fucked up, but everything I do is worth it. Worth it, worth it, worth it. Been so fucked up, but everything I do is worth it. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man. Better nigga wanna be a real nigga like me. Can't be like me, I'm a crazy ass nigga, no controlling the shit. What you saying to me, no controlling the beat. Crazy to me, how you claim me to be. What you don't understand, I'm a G. What you don't understand, I'm a beat. Let me know if you can talk it like me. Swag guy with a pipe full of cash on me. That's why I always got a sag on me. Make a bitch pop a tag on me. Put the thing down, bitch, dance on me.
These facts, baby, ease back. Bitches come in threes like them switches sweet leaf packs. It's that well respected Waco, Texas, 103 stack. Pulling bad bitches, what that old Patty B's at? I'm known around this bitch. 8 to half is on the brick. You can't hit my phone for shit, but if you hit my phone for hit, you gon' hear a phone go click. Probably somewhere with my hometown homegirl on some stone and shit. Send her home and shit with that bone that you won't forget. Bitch, I'm on the lick. Can't smell shit, I'm cold as shit. Please don't have no bone to pick. I keep that grip as low
like me. Can't be like me, I'm a crazy ass nigga, no controlling the shit. What you saying to me, no controlling this beat. Crazy to me, how you claiming to be. What you don't understand, I'm a G. What you don't understand, I'm a beast. Let me know if you can talk like me. Swag guy with a pipe full of cash on me. That's why I always got a sag on me. Make a bitch pop a tag on me. Put the dick down, big dance on me. I'm a grown man. Grown man.
That's right. That right. That right. That right. That right.